This is a podcast about just opinions.
Hey, yo, this is what it is. This is what I think.
We all have kind of outlandish takes.
Like, don't at me.
If there's other free-form stuff that comes with it, we cover that too.
Hey, hold on real quick. Hold on. Pause.
All right, so we got Jock on the pod.
Yo, what up, people? It's your boy Jock, Jacquees, whatever you want to call me, Pierre style. Yeah, I'm excited to be on the podcast today. Thanks for having me, guys.
Don't at that nigga. Don't at him.
So we're at the mobile studio out at Spots Park. Hey, but it's progress though. You know, we'll make it. It's funny, Jock. Actually, you showed up. You said you couldn't find us.
Yeah, so
it's dark out here.
It's really dark. It's a lot of broken glass. It's very dangerous, neighborhood. But we doing it for y'all, the viewers, listeners. But no, I haven't seen Mike's car in a while, so I pulled up next to him, and somebody was up on the passenger side, and it was a chance, I didn't know at the time, and so I drove off because it looked sketchy as fuck. So
because I look sketchy.
I was like, let me just leave because I don't know what's going on here. I got his glasses everywhere.
But yeah, understand.
The funny thing is, I was like, that wasn't Jock. I was like, if that was Jock, the first, if it was difficult after 2 seconds, he'd call. I was certain if that was Jock,
he texts after 2 minutes.
Yeah, I was focused, man, on finding a spot myself without actually having to call or text you,
you want, quickly. You want to seem like an adult.
Want to be a man about
exactly. I'm a man without it.
Rest in peace, Pops, man.
Yeah, Pops,
yo,
man.
Shout out to Pops. Rest in peace, Pops, man.
John Witherspoon.
It's
crazy because we grew up on John. Everybody
crazy. He was like everybody's dad.
He was. Even though we never met him, but when he died, I felt that shit. It was crazy.
It was pretty sad.
We lost a goat. Another one.
Yeah. So how was y'all week, man?
Pretty good. Before we get into all that, shout out some stuff that we've been doing with the social media. We created the Instagram at therep.network. So we're gonna put some audio podcast bites. Of course, we're gonna put stories, some behind the scenes pics. I'm sure we'll maybe take some tonight. And then you started up the YouTube.
Yeah, because we gotta get into that YouTube market, man. That's that's the biggest social market out there. Period. Believe it or not, YouTube is.
You're right about that. Another thing that I found out too about YouTube, that's the number one place for music is actually streamed.
Yeah, it's the most interactive because people comment there. Everything's free.
It's free. Yep.
I didn't know I didn't know it was the most.
It's the most streamed out of all services, bro, because it's free. Mm-hmm. You can just go to YouTube.
That's why you get 10 million, 12 million views on music videos and shit like that.
Right.
Well, they do say it's the second search engine behind Google, for searches. People just seem
Google owns it, right?
Yeah.
Google makes sense.
Well, I think it's been 10 years.
Right now,
yeah, it's been 10 years.
Google rules that shit.
Google, Facebook.
Apple's getting up.
Twitter's still OG though, because they still independent.
See, the thing I like about Twitter is that's usually where I'll go for quick videos and shit like that. That's why I miss Vine. Funny, I used to look at Vine videos on tweets.
You know what's funny? I never had a Vine.
I never had one.
Mine was
I just
never had a
But I always saw it on Twitter.
Comedy. I loved it for the comedy aspect of it. Mm-hmm. King Botch or Batch, I would say his name. That nigga's funny.
DC Young Fly.
Exactly. They all came from Vine. That whole little LA.
I like
Liza Koshy. My little brother actually used to talk to her.
Oh, word?
She actually got a fucking series on YouTube. She doing it big and shit now. She got her own show.
It's easy, bro. We just gotta just put in the time to just do the shit. There's so much money and ideas and stuff to be made out here in this world, man. We just gotta just do it.
And that's why we're
right
here.
now. All they do is they just exist in the group chat right now.
Yeah. Because the little kid that
oh, dude, we already shit on this. Fuck that kid.
Yeah, it's open those boxes and he gets paid how much? Millions or some shit.
We were shitting on him the last.
Talking about Ryan? Oh yeah. Fuck that nigga.
It's crazy, man.
And his parents.
Good
He don't
for
even be
him.
playing with that shit. His parents be like, "Oh, hey Ryan, you like this?" And he be like, "Oh no, bitch." But yeah, man.
Twitter's where I saw. Actually, Jack, you sent me this. So we were watching the game last night. Everybody. Well, we're
actually
taping
I
this.
didn't. I caught the ass end of it, and I'm so glad I did.
So we're taping this on a Friday night. So I'm sure by the time people hear this, kind of seem like old news. But I don't know because he got the indefinite suspension.
Right.
Who knows what that actually means? Mm-hmm. As of right now, we're talking about Myles Garrett. He got the indefinite suspension for what he did, which we'll get into. Marquise Pouncey got 3 games, which I'm like, okay, he could have definitely gotten more.
Yeah,
he was throwing kicks.
He did kick the nigga in the head.
He threw some awkward kicks, but he threw some kicks.
So first of all, it's always some shit going on when the Browns are involved.
Always.
Period.
It is funny because
Always.
I watched the game all the way. I mean, all the way until it was like a minute 47
really
left.
a fun game to watch, but I was, I'm gonna keep.
Why were
Yeah.
they even running the play with 8 seconds left?
Exactly.
Well, I don't know. Like I turned this off at 1:47 left. I think it was like 4th down.
Right, and they're
Browns had
up
the
by,
ball.
Like, I think it's a 2-score game at this point.
It was 4th and 7. I remember this because like they had Baker Mayfield was trying to draw him off sides, and I'm like, it's 4th and 7. What does that do?
Yeah.
Like what? And then they just punted, whatever, and I turned it off because I was like, okay, whatever.
It's boring.
And then Jock was like, in case y'all missed it, and I was like, wait, what?
All right, so we have a group chat. So this shit was crazy. I had to let my boys know like ASAP because I'm like, this shit's fucking like wow because the game is on, but I'm not really watching it at this point. I'm just kind of like whatever. I'm on fucking Instagram and shit. And I look up and I see Pouncey like swinging and then kicking, and I'm like, oh shit, what the fuck is this? This is pretty real, you know? So they replayed it, and then it showed, Mason Rudolph like on actual like ground. People don't realize he actually instigated the thing to a certain extent, I feel. And so what I mean by that,
Yeah.
he kicked old boy and then tried to Myles Garrett, say old boy. He kicked Myles Garrett in his nuts and then tried to take his helmet off first. Myles Garrett is way bigger than you, like, first of all. So why are you actually doing that to a lineman? And you guys already have like a rivalry already at that. So people already
There's no
heated
time
mad.
on the clock left.
Exactly,
Like, why
yeah.
even...
I understand Myles Garrett doing like the extra like tackling him and doing like, an extra thing. Okay, yeah, I'm upset. But the fact that Mason Rudolph got up and tried to charge him afterwards with your helmet off, like, bro, what the fuck are you doing?
You wanted your ass whooped.
Exactly. You don't charge some 300-pound, like, why are you doing it? It didn't make sense to me, And so I feel like what I'm upset about, Myles shouldn't actually hit him with the helmet. Like, that was wrong. If he could have connected some kind of way, it would have been really bad. Coma.
Could've died.
He swung that shit
hard. He's a big dude.
And he hit him on the head, and he was just like, ow.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, he's at least tough.
What the hell did you do that for?
Right, yeah, you big bully. But it's like, bro.
Here's my problem with it. So, my take, when I watched it like the Zapruder film.
Right.
So, Myles Garrett.
That's something we're going to get into one day. Conspiracies.
One day. I thought the hit was, like, it wasn't like a late, like, rough hit, excessive. But, like, the game.
At first you were.
No, not excessive. Let me explain.
Okay.
He didn't like rough him up, but the second he let go of the ball, like, he didn't have to touch him. Like, okay, cool, you hit him. 9 times out of 10, a defender hits somebody like that, and they realize, like, oh shit, I might draw a flag. Some will even pull their arms back or try to get up immediately, something like that. He didn't do that. He wraps him up, slams him to the ground, starts rolling around. So I'm like, all right, Myles Garrett's wrong for that. Like, it wasn't excessive, but, like, okay, that's like kind of like
extra. Yeah,
it's
extra.
like,
He was in
pushing
motion.
somebody. It's like pushing somebody
Right.
after, whatever. And then I saw Rudolph, with him like yanking on his head and kicking. I'm like, okay, he's
Getting up,
pushing
charging
back.
him.
I'm like, even though Myles Garrett hit him, it wasn't like a fight move. It was just kind of one of those where you get
It was
up.
a good wrap-up
You get
tackle.
up, you look at the ref, like, where's the flag?
Right.
Like, that's the move.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was too much of a hit. Like, it could have been a flag. If it wasn't 8 seconds in the game, they'd probably throw a flag for that.
All this shit is
But-
caused by the helmet swing.
That's
ultimately
that's exactly what it was. So, okay, Rudolph, keeps it going and tries to start fighting him or whatever. I'm like, okay, now he took it to the next level.
Right.
He's the guy that threw the first punch, not literally, but like figuratively. Like he took it from, okay, I got a late hit to now we're in an altercation.
Right.
And then they get up and
You tried to
Garrett
lie about it, too.
grabs him by the helmet,
tried to
starts
seem like-
shaking him, and I'm like, he's ragged on him, but even now I'm like, he's not wrong for that. The
He's
guy
not.
picked the fight,
Yeah.
and he's pushing him back, like he's fighting right back, like natural instincts, right?
Right.
Yanks his helmet off. That's where he should have walked away.
Exactly.
He did,
Yeah.
though.
He
didn't.
did.
He did, though.
Yeah, okay.
But then that's
Well-
when Rudolph came around.
Well, so what happened was the lineman kind of pushed him, pulled him back. Like, hey
And
man,
shout out to that
chill.
lineman because he was actually
The
trying
lineman,
to defuse
hey.
Well, the first
situation.
lineman,
dude.
yeah, DeCastro, I think.
Castro,
And he's a veteran, So he pulls him over. He's trying to like stop it.
Right.
Rudolph instigates it, right? Okay, he's bad for continuing it. Garrett could have just he already won. Like you won. You
Right.
made this guy look stupid.
coulda
He's
laughed
gonna
it
get in
off
your
and walked
face.
off, like, whatever.
You outweigh. It's not even like a fair fight anyway. Like Rudolph kind of took it to that level. But it's like something to be proud of. Like, hey man, I whooped up on Mason Rudolph.
Right.
It's like, so why are you getting back into it?
Yeah.
But the helmet swing, like that's
the
where it's
nut
like,
check, too, though, bro.
okay,
Like,
Then they
you
like-
not go, like how OJ said, man. Y'all know the GOAT spoke. All right. He was like, yo, man, you kicked me in my groins. Yo, you know what I'm saying? Like,
It's over for you,
It's
bucko.
it's over, bro. I'm pretty sure that's the same thing he said to Ron Goldman, too. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, speaking of, so we listened to a bunch of different takes. Some people had ridiculous takes.
You know who had the best take?
Shout out to Bay.
My bae, Joy Taylor.
Yeah, Bay.
Shout out Joy Taylor. Yo,
I agree with her 100%.
I love
everything
her.
she said.
That's my bae.
Well, I mean, we will retweet the take because I mean it was like spot on. I agree with her take pretty much 100%. Like I think that everybody that got penalties should have gotten penalties. I think that Rudolph is not guiltless in this.
He's
So
not
the
innocent.
fact
He's
that
not.
he got off with nothing is kind of crazy.
Yeah, but he plays for the Steelers, and we all know the organization like how they do shit with the quarterbacks.
Yeah, but it's the league, though, man. Like,
the league loves. I think the Steelers shit too. Because Big Ben, remember that situation? Nothing happened.
Yeah.
You know?
It's a public team, you know.
yeah,
It's
you're
one of those
right.
public teams.
But I mean, like, my take on the thing is
the helmet swing was too much.
The helmet
That's
swing
why I have an
was
issue.
was a little excessive, but I mean, for Garrett to actually go to take his helmet off, he was literally just retaliating from.
I was fine with that.
He was retaliating
Yeah.
from when fucking Mason was
We
like
saw
literally
Andre,
trying to
we saw Andre Johnson do that.
They both took their helmets off and started piecing
You
each
know?
other up.
Yep, remember that. Yep.
But like the helmet swing a little too much. But I mean, like,
This was too much.
dude, like, I mean, you running my shit. First of all, you kicked me in my nuts.
Well,
okay,
here's the thing though. So
I'm supposed to DDT your ass out here.
he gets in his face. I think at that point, I mean, I'm not Myles Garrett, so I don't know. If that's me, I'll just get right back in Rudolph's face and just be like, "Hey, man, like,
You talk shit.
I'm gonna give you one last chance.
Better
If you
get the
throw a
fuck
punch
up
or
outta
something,
here."
you're done."
Yeah, it's over.
But even with that, I still don't swing the helmet. It's just an unfair fight
I don't
anyway, and he's got a weapon technically. I mean, the way he was swinging and wielding
helmet
that,
is
it's a weapon.
bro.
But I mean, it's not like he
Shit's
like
heavy.
was constantly swinging it. I even thought that like there was so much adrenaline and so much shit going on that the nigga probably forgot he had shit in his hand. It was probably really just trying to throw an overhead punch. You
And
know what I'm
also,
saying?
guys,
Yeah,
like,
he
you
knew
gotta
he had that
realize,
shit in
too,
there.
like-
But I mean, the heat of the moment, it happens.
Well, he had to give him his fucking helmet back.
But you gotta, I mean, you gotta pay the crime. I mean, pay the.
I think
Do
his
the time.
punishment
Hey, man.
was a little too severe.
Hey man, if the glove don't fit,
I don't, man.
You don't?
if the glove don't fit, you know what they say, man.
Hey
Like,
man, y'all want to hear what the GOAT said?
Yeah, see what the GO say.
Y'all, okay, I'm gonna let y'all hear what the GOAT say. Trust me, I have it right here, queued up
You
for
know what the
you
GOAT
boys.
is? It's the juice.
The juice,
Juice man.
the juice is loose. I'm gonna let y'all
I
hear
feel
what
like the
boy said.
suspension was fine. People were like, "Oh, it should be." I mean, we
Honestly,
don't know.
like-
we don't
like,
know what the answer is
at
though.
first,
They just
I-
said indefinitely.
Right, and
I think rest of the season is fine. 8
Right.
games.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna piggyback on. Like, I definitely agree with you on that aspect because we all know the Browns aren't making to the postseason anyway. Let's be
No,
They're not doing that shit. So, and then we only have, like you said, 8 more games left anyway. So, it makes sense, right? It could have been much worse. It could have been earlier in the season.
All right,
All right, guys. We let
wait, let the
go.
GOAT speak.
Look, all I know is this. The minute Mason went after the man's helmet with his foot in his groin, it's on. I'm hearing all these announcers saying that Garrett should be suspended. Maybe he should. But when a guy's trying to get your helmet off your head, and that's where it started, White with his foot in your groin, it's on. I'm just saying.
Take care.
It's on.
And that's exactly what he said to Ron Goldman when he chopped his motherfucking head off too. You know what I'm saying? It's on. You know what I'm saying? Take care.
You stupid, bro.
Straight up though.
You are
like,
so silly.
I love OJ, man. That's my nigga. All right, but
End
no,
of the day, I just feel like the helmet swing was too much.
helmet swing was a little too much.
8 games, I'm fine with. I'm not fine with Rudolph getting off scot free.
Yeah,
He should
I
at
agree.
least get
I
a
agree.
game.
Yeah.
I agree.
Okay.
Hey,
I'm with
and
you on
Steelers
that.
fans should want that. You
I'm
know,
with you
not
on that.
because hey, fair crime, but he's no good.
Issue is
He threw
they-
4 picks.
Yes.
He threw
Hey.
4 picks.
He's bad.
He's
that
garbage.
has nothing to do with
Garbage.
the context, but you know, it's almost like hey,
And that's why he was mad. One, because
It was.
Garrett was eating his ass up during that game too.
He's
I think he had like
frustrated.
4 sacks or some
He
shit
was
like that.
frustrated,
Well, that's
bro.
the problem with
And it
Garrett
showed.
is, I mean, I guess what I'm so frustrated too is he was having a ridiculous year. I mean, he's an obvious Pro Bowler, but I mean, he was on a crazy pace. I mean, he was having a hell of a year. It's like, man, you do some dumb shit like this.
You know what I hate, bro?
know better than
Like
that.
all the good stuff that you can do, like in your career, right? It just takes that one time to fuck up or do a mistake, and that tarnishes like your legacy and your name.
I want to hear where you're going because I have something I want to add to that too.
Okay. So, yeah, what I mean by that, you can be doing just in life in general. You know, it's bigger than football. It's whatever you're doing. People always, the bad's always going to outweigh the good, unfortunately, you know? So, Garrett, like you said, he's having a stellar year. You know, leading in, not leading, but, you know, just multiple sacks during his actual game. And Mason Rudolph actually, you know, was frustrated, obviously, no situation.
He was mad. He was big mad.
Big mad.
But I feel like it's going to tarnish his legacy or how he is because now it's a stigma over his head.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
He can't keep his cool. He's erratic. We saw, for example, Antonio Brown, that whole situation. It was a mess. You know?
Jason Whitlock, you saw how Jason Whitlock, he was. I don't know if you saw that. He retweeted something about, you know, oh, people say they've never seen this guy. He's usually so calm. What about all these?
Right.
Yeah, I did see that.
He was the one that knocked out Trevor Siemian for the season with his late hit.
Yep.
He had, you know, he threw a punch on Delanie Walker. Plenty of people getting fights.
Yeah.
But
so
yeah,
it's
it's
in a
like
situation,
one thing, you know?
Right. It's in a situation where, like, they're going to feel you, oh, he's that guy. And Myles Garrett, you know, I don't know him personally, obviously, but he seems like a pretty chill dude. And so it definitely was uncharacter-like, and he fucked up. Because when you see the interview, you can tell his eyes, like, yeah, I shouldn't have did that, you know, like, fuck.
He did seem very
Could he be
regretful,
redeemable?
though.
He
Yes.
did.
Well, here's my
But at the
question.
same
I feel like he
time,
can personally.
this is fucking football, man.
Yeah,
It's fucking football, bro.
So, but it's
a
their
savage
livelihoods,
sport.
though. Now
It
here's-
is.
with him.
But
If,
the NFL,
let's say,
like, they're too cupcake nowadays, bro.
let's say Myles Garrett never played again, people would be like, oh, you know,
That's what they're going to remember him by.
that's what he
Helmet.
gets, you know?
Right.
What? Here's a good question. This is where I was going with this and legacies and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
What did Melo do wrong?
Nothing. What did Kaepernick do wrong? If we want to get into that.
Well,
We
the
can get into
Melo
both of
first.
those things.
Melo
Yeah, the Melo first.
Yes,
so.
Melo first, but I'm just kind of like trying to play devil's advocate.
So, Melo, it's funny because the second the Rockets got him last year, I was like, oh, man, we suck.
What?
Yeah.
For real? I thought it was going to be on.
Just because the stigma that he
No,
has
well,
with other teams.
it's not really stigma. For me, it's because I'm like, dude can't really ball anymore.
Right.
Like,
Lost
he
it.
hasn't been good in
Since
a
Denver.
while, you know? Now, he does have this stigma that follows him. I don't know why. Of like, he's, you know, everywhere he goes, team kind of
teams
tanks,
down,
whatever.
right.
All he does is play hard. And, like, he's, you know, I don't know him to ever be a bad
He took
guy.
a fucking
you
back
know?
seat when he came to us, bro. He was okay with coming off the
Yep.
bench. He did what we asked him to do. I believe that he just our scapegoat at the time. Honestly, like, hey, we can kind of
Somewhat,
place blame
yeah.
on him.
But he just
certain
underperformed.
situations.
Now, granted, it was only like, 8 games or something like that?
Yeah, it wasn't very long at all.
But the sad thing is, people are going to look back at his legacy, because what's going to happen is, now that he's in Portland, he's going to play like shit, and people are going to say, hell no, and he's going to be gone.
You know, I'm rooting for Melo, man.
I'm rooting for
I am
him
too.
because I think it's going to, his legacy is like, for
Tell me
no
he
by
had
no
Lala
doing of
titties
his
out
own.
on Power and shit.
By no
Man.
doing by no doing of his own, he's like his legacy is tarnished. And I'm like, what did he actually do? Like, what? How? Why?
Melo was that nigga though. Y'all forget.
That's
Nah,
I
Syracuse?
don't. We don't, but I think a lot of people do
Syracuse,
forget.
Nuggets.
Denver.
Bro, I had this whole unit for the Nuggets, like the shoes.
I had
like,
that blue.
Yo, I used to always
that
run
baby
and like
blue.
on like motherfucking 2K like
yep.
8 or some shit like that. I used to always run with the goddamn Nuggets, man. Him, J.R. Smith, motherfucking Kenyon Martin.
We forget
Chauncey.
Iverson
bro.
was with them for a little bit too.
Nigga, what?
Yep.
They had a fucking squad, bro. Like,
That was I remember that year because it was part of that 09 season. I think the Nuggets were 50 and 32 or something like that. And I think the Warriors missed the playoffs, like
Davis.
49 and 33 or something like that. They had like 49 wins or something like that and missed the playoffs. That was like my favorite team, like maybe all time. With Baron Davis Warriors,
Oh.
Hey, that team was raw.
They were raw.
It's like only 2s and 3s. Like, all right, you're center tonight, I guess. So y'all wanted to talk about Kaepernick. Okay, this is important.
This is actually good.
Because I want to know, like,
I'm proud of Cap. I'm glad that the league is actually like kind of looking out. You know what I'm saying? Giving them the chance to actually, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's see your workouts. You know what I'm saying? You got workouts. What? They're coming up this weekend, right?
Yeah. You know
I think tomorrow or something like that. Saturday, yeah.
You know what's crazy, man? Like, I'm proud of it too. Like, I really am. But if it's genuine from the league. And what I mean by that is I think it's a PR stunt to a certain extent.
Well,
So-
Well, you know what I thought? Actually, hold
didn't
on
think
that
that.
point. Hold on real quick, Mike. On that point right there, I was like, dude, the league, they do something like good or whatnot, but then what happened last night with fucking Myles Garrett kind of brung it right back down. Well,
It's bad for their PR,
It's bad for
yeah.
their PR. You know what I'm saying? And like,
Well, they're
It
lucky
makes-
now. They
it
can say,
makes-
"Look, Kaepernick! Look, Kaepernick! Look, Kaepernick!"
Right.
To, like,
yeah,
take
so
the
they
eyes
can
off.
like kind of take the
But
eyes off
it
of
did
it.
happen. Like that was set up before the fight, but
Right.
now it's like a convenient out. You know.
Do you guys credit Hove for this?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I know
Well,
he played a
I don't
part.
credit Hove. I credit Nessa.
I don't credit Hove like all the way, but I believe he played like somewhat a part in it, you know, because I know he's trying to like make changes, you know, what he can actually do right now.
Yo,
I
I will
got-
say
I have
this:
my issues.
when they go to commercial, the music is way better.
Yeah.
In the league now,
he's already up
the
with
music
that.
is way better.
Here's my. Let's start to the beginning of the whole thing, right? Because I've always I've never really had people to talk about it with because I'm like I don't even want to fucking talk about it, right?
Oh, you'll probably get into like fucking cross burning meetings if you bring up caps.
So, and that's the thing. This has nothing to do with race. This has everything to do with. All right, I talked about this on previous podcasts. I always grew up as a 49ers fan.
Right.
That's my squad.
Right.
I love Brady because he always beats up the teams that the 49ers haven't been able to since I've been a fan.
Right.
The Rams, the Seahawks, you know, he's 3-0 in Super Bowls against them, so I ride with
Yes,
Brady.
he is.
But at the end of the day, you know, the Niners are my team. That's always been my favorite team.
Right.
I watched Kaepernick thoroughly. And I was ready. I was ready to jump off the Brady bandwagon and commit myself to Kaepernick. I really was. I was like, you know, my team, they got a quarterback. And it's not even fair weather fans. I love the Niners. I ride and die with them. But
Right.
when they suck, it's like, I don't
Oh,
really
and
want
I
to watch
can-
it, man. This hurts to watch. Like, you'll still follow a little
Yeah.
bit, but you're not going to watch every game.
Definitely.
You know? And then in the playoffs, I'm like, screw the Rams, screw the Seahawks, you know? And then look who beats them, the Patriots. I'm like, yes, I ride with Brady.
Yeah.
But I watched Kaepernick for all those years, and every year he got worse. Every year he got a little bit worse. And the last time he played like shit. He got benched for Blaine Gabbert, like for performance, not because of the anthem stuff. He got benched for performance.
So why do you feel like his performance was like going downward?
Well, he's kind of gimmicky. I think the defense has started to kind of figure him out. He wasn't a very accurate passer. He always had the running dynamic, but at the same time, again, by no fault of his own, the team itself was starting to kind of fall apart. You know,
Right.
ownership was having issues,
Right.
Yeah.
power struggle with the coach. You know, he kind of got a raw deal on that, and he had, like, Harbaugh knew his skill set. He knew how to make him successful. So the second that broke up, you know, they bring in Chip Kelly, and it's like, man, Kaepernick kind of had a bad end to last year, but whatever. You know, they're bringing in this college this college coach. He's got, you know, he's on his last chance because it didn't work out in Philly. He's going to find a way to make it work here with Cap. And
make it
he
work.
didn't make it out of camp. He was going to get cut. And then, you know, I think he's sitting there just casually,
So-
just whatever, pissed off. And then, you know, when they interviewed him about it, you know, I'm sitting for the injustices. I'm not going to question the validity of what he said. Dude's about to get cut, and then all of a sudden, conveniently, you know, oh, it's a social thing. And then it's like, oh, well, now maybe he's one of those untouchable classes. Like, if we were to cut him, now it's bad PR for us. Because this is how the league thinks.
Right.
You know, so I'm like, that's probably their perspective on it. We're going to keep him around. I won't go as far as to say he was convenient with when he did all this. But, you know, the truth of the matter is, he, like, sucked the last he played. Now, the fact that no teams have tried him out,
He's wrong.
Do you
there's
think that
part
he
of
was
that.
tanking to like not to get out of the league as like he
I
has
think
been
he
for like
wanted.
the,
No, I think he wanted to play in the league. I think because he was
But
good.
do you think
was
that he just wanted to leave
competitive.
the 49ers?
No, because he could have just played. You would never play like shit, like because you're just not going to get a contract
Right.
because he didn't.
I
That's
I mean,
exactly
you know,
what happened.
He probably had like you know, and devil's advocate. I hear what you're saying, like he was declining.
Well, I don't know about like
But-
his
Well,
money. or
and the fact that he hasn't had a chance since then is a combination of things.
Right.
One, there's got to be some of the prejudice, like that. There's just
most definitely.
there's got to be some,
Most
right? Performance has to be a factor because it's like Tebow. I mean, like
Right.
Tebow is way worse than Kaepernick, like has ever been. You know, like
Tebow
Kaepernick's
got-
worst
he got outcast
is still
too.
way better than Tebow's, but Tebow is also one of those. Hey, there's a media circus. If we give this guy a chance, you know,
We don't want that kind of drama.
we don't want that, and
That
he's
kind
just,
of
and he's not that good to even be worth, you know, taking that risk. So I think that was a factor. And then the other part of it too, you know, now the last couple of years, quarterback goes down like, Kaepernick's available. He's got such a unique skill set. Really, the only way he's going to succeed is if he goes to a team like the Bears or the Ravens, where they already have a mobile quarterback with his skill set,
Well,
right?
the Ravens, don't they have?
Well, they have
isn't
Lamar
RG3?
now, and RG3 is the
Backup?
backup, but that's the same. I think that's the same kind of setup that like Kaepernick would need, like
Right.
a Chicago, because
Think
you know,
about it. Yeah, if Cam Newton, if he actually goes to Chicago,
that-
then
I like
Cam-
Do you
those
think guys
rumors.
that are like quarterbacks that are real good in college and like are trash in the league are just like? Do you think that that's like a real thing? Like that?
well,
I think so,
sometimes
but
you get into a system,
Right.
you know, and like you're good at that system, but then the
Right.
second like defenses get faster.
Because
in
if you think about the
pros-
greats, the great quarterbacks and shit, they're all like fucking like, you know, second string, third string guys that got that chance. You know,
Yeah.
like with Brady.
Montana was a third rounder too.
You know, like
Brett
but I
Favre, he
mean,
wasn't-
prime
Brett
example
Favre,
is Brady.
yeah.
If it wasn't for fucking what was it, Doug Flutie?
No, Bledsoe.
Bledsoe, yeah. If it wasn't for Bledsoe going fucking down, like, you know, like, you think Brady would even like be like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, I mean, there's no telling. They did keep 4 quarterbacks that year, so I will give
Brady
Belichick
could
some
have been
credit.
on the
Right.
He had to have
Browns.
seen something, you know.
Do you know what I
But
mean? Like, that's crazy to think. Say the Browns would have kept their whole personnel, like staff and shit. Brady could have been drafted to the Browns, correct?
I mean, he could have been drafted really by any team, you know. And I mean, the Browns they drafted Spurgeon Wynn, so I mean, they could have drafted Brady instead, you know.
That would have been weird.
Yeah,
See
that
Brady,
would've
like
been
Brady and the
totally-
Browns.
but I
Oh,
always,
He wanted to play for the Niners, and the Niners drafted a quarterback that year too. That would have been ideal. Can you imagine?
Brady, Lamar.
because I always tie great quarterbacks, because y'all remember Any Given Sunday, right?
Oh,
Remember
Beeman,
Willie
of course.
Beeman? Like, I mean, just like that dynamic. I don't know why, but I always thought that, yo, that's like one of the realest football movies ever, because like
that was a good ass movie.
it's like, you know, you got this fucking guy that's like sitting on third string quarterback, sitting on a bit smoking a cigar, and he comes in and he's like the fucking like, you know, like the best like you've seen like for that season.
I like to
and he
think that he
gets
was
all this-
actually. I feel like his pro comp was like Tyrod Taylor. Like he like had like 2 nice games,
Yeah.
and they're like he's the future,
Yeah.
and then because at that
Like
time
your
he's the
mama.
only black quarterback, so they're like, oh, he's the truth, and then like you just overrated.
Speaking
Like,
of
Taylor, he had his
Willie
moments.
Beeman was overrated. I mean, like you know
speaking
what I
of
mean?
black quarterbacks, what a fucking time to be a black
Dude,
quarterback in the NFL.
yes.
For sure.
Oh my god, bro.
And that's actually
Watson,
helping Kaepernick out. I think.
Mahomes, Jackson.
Right. I think that's
Right
going to help
there. Dude.
Kaepernick's like cause, because you have your Lamar Jacksons now, right? You have your Watsons, which they're very mobile, they're very athletic, and so
Second comings of Vic.
exactly.
Steve
Lamar
McNair's.
may be even better than Vic. I'll
He's
go
a
ahead and
better-
say that
he's
he
a
may,
pocket
he may
passer.
be
Yeah.
even better as far as from the throwing.
No, that
aspect.
nigga's a juggernaut, bro. He's a juggernaut, bro. He's a beast.
I saw fucking Lamar Jackson in person because I went to U of H, so like he used to beat up on us because he played for the Louisville. Yep. And so that man, when I say fast as fuck, like in person, it's like it's undescribable. Like how
Yeah.
fast this man.
That's
is.
how
In
Vince Young
college,
was.
He was like that. So now he's even bigger, much faster. Works out more, a lot of stuff. So I can only imagine his speed now. So
What
we're
I like
seeing the
about
thing,
Lamar Jackson is that he'll work on his flaws.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's still not the best passer.
Yeah.
I like that he looks to pass though. Like a lot of time, a mobile quarterback will just start running. He'll actually keep his eyes down the field and throw it. He's getting better with the accuracy, but it's because he's actually working on it, which I like.
Well, I was saying that to say this. Like, do you think that that's probably like because black quarterbacks are kind of having so much success this season
I
that
think-
Cap is actually getting that look this year?
I think it's a
to be
combination.
like, you know what?
I don't think
With,
that-
I mean, I don't
don't think
I'm
they're
trying to like
correlated.
correlating it
Right.
like directly to it, but it's like, like kind of like that nudge. It's like, well, let's see what Cap could. I mean, he's been resting for 3-4 years.
I
He's been
think.
dying
I
to
mean,
get back in the
I
league.
honestly think.
He's 32.
Well,
like some shit.
I was listening to some people that follow the league, and they're talking about how, you know, this could be a PR stunt for a couple of different reasons. One, now all of a sudden all the teams, not all of them, but like 24 teams are going.
Most of them
before
teams.
it was like 10. Yeah, now that's 75%.
Yeah.
And watch, before you know it, it's going to be in like 28 or some shit like that for number one. Number two, all the good scouts are going to be at college games.
Right.
Saturday. They're going to be at college games scouting, you know, people they're going to draft the next year. They put this on a Saturday where they knew like a lot of big scouts were
This is
going
a
to be
big
able to make
weekend,
it.
too.
It is. You know, we're getting deeper and deeper into the season. Like, why not have this on a Tuesday? You know, there's 0% chance,
I think that
that
it would
anybody
be
like
more
Belichick
PR-y
is going to go.
if it was on a Tuesday, though. I kind of think that the league is looking out for themselves as well as trying to look out for, you know what I'm saying, for
Like-
Cap at the same time.
Maybe. I mean, and that's that. We never know. I mean, I'm
Right.
sure it's.
We're just speculating. This
Maybe
is all
it's somewhere in
speculation.
between. You know, maybe it's like, hey, we really don't want this guy in the league. You know, but let's give him a chance. I mean, maybe. I mean, I'm just guessing.
I'm happy that he's getting this chance.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
like me
it's-
personally, because if he is trash, you know what I'm saying? Like, then, all right, well, league, you know, like, well, you guys y'all were on your shit, you know what I'm saying?
We tried.
If he's good, I'm happy for you. Like, period, regardless, no matter what.
I'd actually be real mad if he was good.
You would be.
Because I'd be like, why the fuck did you not bring that with the Niners, man? Why did you fall off? Then I'd hate him more, honestly.
You know, we don't know what's
But it's
going
from a
on.
competitive thing.
Right. We don't know what was going on too, like in that whole situation as well. It could have been the reason why he was playing like trash each year because he probably didn't want to be there after a while. Like
That's what I was saying. Like, sometimes you don't want to be places. Sometimes you
But
will
it's hard
kind
to- it's
of,
hard-
like, you won't tank,
Right.
but, like,
It's
you
hard-
won't
I mean,
play
that's
to
true.
your potential. You know
it's
what
hard
I'm
to
saying?
get out.
You just
It's
don't wanna
made,
be
made it
there.
much harder than we think out of his con or whatever was going on. So he's like,
And
you
then
know
if
what?
people are shitting on you, like, during the whole season just because you're fucking kneeling about
Yeah,
something, it's like,
exactly,
well,
yeah.
fuck you guys. You
So
know
that
what I'm
makes
saying?
the situation much worse. It just
Yeah,
blew up
it
to, like,
does.
another level. You
Well,
know?
people forget the timelines, though, because people think that, oh, everybody was shitting on him when he started kneeling. Like,
Nah.
they were shitting on him before.
Nah, they
'cause he
were.
was playing like
They
shit.
were.
It made it just worse when he did that. You know. So that's it.
Well, hey, man, we got Cap coming back. We got Melo coming back. You know what else coming back? The Motorola RAZR.
Jock, how you feel about this being an Appleite?
Man, I'm kind of like torn, you know, because we grew up on a RAZR, right?
We did.
That phone was so
That was the
fucking
best
indestructible. You can throw that shit.
It had like a low, what's it, like a low profile? Like, it was
Yeah.
very sleek.
And then the colors.
Yo,
I think it had
that was
a
like the
chocolate
first
color.
phone you could kind of like sneak. You know what I'm saying? Like to do your homework and shit. Or not your homework, but like your classwork.
Right. And when you had the RAZR, you know you had fucking money. Like it was status. It was kind of like the iPhone.
Yo,
Like, I got this fucking RAZR.
it really
watch
was.
this, you know?
Like the RAZRs, those were around in the headband days. So like I remember I would like stick mine in the headband and like just fold it. Like so I just have it like, you know, sitting out there. So like my phone will ring, I just pick it from my headband.
Hello.
You know what I'm saying? Like you know, like
Early 2000s, you know what I mean? Back when the
But I'm
music was
excited. Have
great.
y'all seen it?
Nah,
have
I
not.
actually haven't.
I'm gonna
I'm
show you
curious to
guys.
see like how the interface is gonna be.
No, it actually looks badass, guys.
You
Well,
know,
I know they were talking about bringing flip phones back.
Right,
Is this
but-
supposed to be flip or what? Or like combo touch?
I'm gonna show you right now.
Who knows?
Flexible, bendable.
I'm gonna show you right now.
This is awful for the radio folk.
Yeah.
Showing the old one.
Oh, so
Okay.
it looks the same.
Ooh. And then future. Boom.
Just take it off. Stripping all that shit, you know?
Get to the point, motherfucker.
I know, right?
Nah.
They got Anderson .Paak on the commercial.
A what?
That's Anderson
Anderson
.Paak.
.Paak is a Korean.
I don't.
Wait, man, you ain't seen
Let's
it.
see how it look. Oh, well, that
it's a
kind of looks
first-
cool.
Okay.
So it's a foldable touchscreen.
Yeah, which they've been talking about that technology.
So just imagine this less of a profile.
yeah,
Like how you, like, you know what I'm saying, in your pocket, you got more space. I'm not gonna lie, bro. If I have my phone and I just have like my pocket, like I don't like having anything in my pocket other than my phone.
Right, because
You know what I'm saying?
Us
Because,
guys,
like,
we
you
don't
kinda-
like wearing our pockets down personally. I don't like having
Right.
a lot of shit, you know, just make it as slim as possible. So the reason why I failed initially because it couldn't keep up with the times as far as like App Store. That's what killed all these phones like the App Store
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
like Google
Yeah.
Play. So my question is, will it have its own App Store? Like, how's that gonna work? Like, what is it gonna be integrated with? You know?
Well, I'm not sure right now. but I'm pretty sure that they'll probably. I mean, it's Motorola. They've still been in the game. They've, you know what I'm saying?
Right,
they haven't
like
left.
been
They
low-
just like been low key. You know what I'm saying? Like they've been working on other
Right now,
shit.
it's two dominant phones: iPhone and what else? Samsung.
Samsung.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? That's it. Well, but a lot of people, like me and Mike were actually talking about this maybe a few pods ago, were like, a lot of white people have like Androids. And like everyone else has like iPhones and whatnot.
And a lot of people in the world have Androids. Actually.
A lot. I think more people in the world have Androids.
They use WhatsApp more than like iOS.
Yeah.
It's just like an American thing.
Like I don't know what it is. Like remember we have to change our whole group chat shit up to WhatsApp
Yeah.
for like through two people.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like
we talked about this.
I'm not gonna lie, guys.
Just to make that work,
I
had
was
to
this
include that in
close to buying an actual Android phone before I upgraded my phone. It's 'cause
I haven't had an Android in 10 years.
yeah, exactly. It's been a while. So what kept me just fucking dumb as shit, but iMessage. I was like, you know what? I can't have the green bubble.
That blue bubble.
Yeah, I can't have the green bubble
That
fucking up
blue
the
is
group
important.
chats.
It is.
And-
Y'all, I'm not gonna lie. If I like put your number in my phone, females, and like y'all got that green shit pop up, I may never ever text you.
He's already judging you.
Like, yeah, you getting mad
Hey,
judged.
that
like,
was
already.
talk about clout. Hey, credit to Apple for that move right there. Like
simple. But
What, just switching the colors of that
Yeah.
shit?
Yep.
Yeah.
like if they don't have it, you don't get the dots. You don't get like.
Yeah. Like,
It's funny because like it's,
the messaging is actually free.
they're screwing like the
Right.
people that have it. For like they're penalizing the people that have it for the people that don't have it. But it is funny because it's almost like I don't even want to talk to you.
Yeah, you judge everybody immediately when they see the green bubble. Like, I don't even want to be friends anymore with this person. I know this.
It's like, why you give me this number? Is this your trap phone? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, shit like that.
It's so fucking shallow, but it is. Blame Apple for that. But
I mean,
genius.
That's just Apple. That's technology, man. Like, But I like the RAZR coming out because we kind of been stuck on two things. Like that. Remember going back to my theory about like we kind of been stuck in like 2011 for like the longest time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that was like the peak of humanity. Like I got a theory on that. We'll get into that shit on the Conspiracies podcast or whatever. But like literally nothing's really.
It might have ended in 2012.
Yeah,
like we
like,
might be dead right
really.
now. Who knows?
No, I swear to God, we
it's
are
not
in a
so good.
simulation, bro. I
Area
every
51.
day it gets like
Weirder.
there's more and more evidence,
It's
bro.
mirror. Things getting a little crazier out there.
Yo,
Y'all really think it's
No.
the Matrix? Like for real?
No,
Speaking of the Matrix,
I
that
really
shit's
think-
coming back.
yo, it is.
All this TBT, all this bringing stuff back from the.
Yo,
Yeah,
I'm
the
kind
past.
of tired of that shit, yo. Why are we getting a new Black Christmas movie? Did you guys see that?
Are we?
Like the horror flick.
The
Black
horror flick Black Christmas. They rebooted it like
I thought I was
10
like,
years
I don't know
ago.
if you're talking about that or like some Medea shit. I don't
Oh
know.
no.
Or Hood Horrors.
Some Medea shit.
Remember Hood Horrors?
Mike, you the goat.
Hood Horrors, yeah.
Snoop Dogg, Hood of Horrors, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Tales from the Hood.
That nigga slipped in the fucking bottle.
Yeah, you know what's funny, man? So like,
What the fuck?
so I have Time Hop.
Uh-huh.
Just to like go back and laugh at like my old like takes on Twitter, like, oh dude, what were you talking about? But I was actually kind of psychic in some cases. It's funny because I noticed like between October and now, all my time hops that were popping up, like every podcast that I had ever started happened like somewhere in this, like in the fall, right before they announced, like before the trailers for Get Out came up. I remember I was sitting there, I was watching Tales from the Hood, and I was like, we're kind of due for like another Tales from the Hood type movie. And
That
then
one was
like
shit, though.
months later, well, yeah, I'm not talking about an actual Tales from the Hood. I just like something like,
That was Apple
like,
listening to your ass.
hey, black culture, horror film, somewhat like not funny, but like has like those funny like moments. 'Cause
all
Tales
black
from the Hood
movies
was funny.
All
but-
black movies funny, no matter if it's a fucking like drama, if it's a fucking horror movie or some shit. The motherfuckers got to be funny, bro. Because black people just funny.
Speaking of black movies that are like funny.
Well,
and
so
shit,
then Get Out comes out, and I'm like,
Yeah.
what? I read that shit.
Hey Mike, did you see Dolomite, the Netflix?
Nah.
Well, the story of.
I think it's.
The story of Dolomite.
I've
like,
seen
story
like
of,
it
Eddie
pop
Murphy.
up plenty
I've
of times.
seen Dolomite. I was watching that the
that
other
shit's
day.
funny as fuck, bro.
I gotta watch
Like,
it. I ain't seen it yet.
Oh my gosh, that shit's hilarious. That's why I'm bringing it up because
I haven't seen it.
I
check
gotta
it out,
catch
bro.
up.
How
on
was
it.
Eddie Murphy in it?
He did great, man.
Did he
He
though?
did great. Yep. Rudy
I
Moore-
miss Eddie
Rudy Moore,
Murphy.
yeah,
Come
Rudy Moore.
back.
Yo,
So Rudy Moore he created this character called Dolomite, that he stole from like wine
Pimps and
hoes
shit.
Yeah, exactly, pimps and shit, and like he took off with it. So Eddie Murphy pretty much is telling the life and story of him, but this shit it's hilarious. So you gotta watch it.
Nah, it's actually
it's
a really good story behind that, bro. Like Rudy Ray Moore, he was a comedian or whatnot that he was like old as fuck. He was like 35 when he put out his first like comedy album or some shit. Like maybe even like in his 40s type shit. But like he was just doing the shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it was like you get to like a midlife point in your life and you're like, what am I doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, let me do what I love to do. Like, so he did that shit. It's actually a fantastic story behind that shit, man. I'm glad they actually made the movie about that shit because the 70s was wild, bro. Like, if we lived in the 70s, bro, we'd be like fucking billionaires right now.
I wish we were this age in 96.
So much great shit.
Straight
Woodstock. What was that club?
54?
54? Yes, bro.
Hell yeah.
Fuck.
Y'all remember that movie 54? Fucking
Ryan Phillippe.
Yeah. And Mike Myers and shit.
Yeah. If I could live in any era like this age, I'd probably want to live in like 96 right now.
Like if you was 30 in 96, I
wish I was 25 in 96, but yeah.
Damn, I mean you would be Tupac, nigga.
Yeah.
Tupac died when he was 25 in 96.
Yeah, R.I.P. Tupac.
Yo, but speaking of like rap and shit
Geminis.
like that, and Geminis, yeah. Speaking of fucking Geminis, yo, y'all know who in town? My nigga Kanye. He in the H. Like you were saying, Mike, you were like, yo, you think that nigga like been here all week? Cause like Astroworld was like last week.
Probably wasn't, but I'm like, that would make sense logistically.
I think he was though, bro.
If he went, well,
I think he was,
First
bro.
of all,
He's just been mad low key.
Yeah, first of all, y'all know how I feel about Kanye, so I'm going to say, you know, he's one of the greatest to ever fucking do
Bro,
it. Period.
I realized it today. Kanye is the GOAT.
He is.
Kanye is the GOAT.
Why is he the GOAT, Chance?
You know why I think he's the GOAT?
Why do you think he's the GOAT?
This nigga went to fucking Harris County Jail.
Harris County motherfucking jail. Y'all
and
hear that?
performed for the goddamn inmates.
The inmates. Who's doing that shit?
Yo,
Nobody.
Did y'all see like video of that shit?
I'm gonna watch it after this.
Yo,
I'm getting it right
it's
now.
funny. It's funny as fuck because like it's like all the like choir and shit. And Kanye just like kind of just chilling there, and he just like bobbing his hand or whatever, just like sitting there, and like all the fucking prisoners like crying and shit like that because they like.
Like Kanye.
It's funny. It's funny because I've been in that same fucking gym that they were in like 10 years, like straight up, the same place, bro. Like I was there before, so I understand what they like going to.
Choir, though.
No one's ever done. That's why he's the fucking GOAT, bro. Like no. And all these rappers, they get locked up.
Right.
Nigga, you're not performing for your motherfucking. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. For no motherfuckers while you in jail.
Or at least it's
this
not,
nigga went to jail, bro.
Or at least it's not publicized like that. You
exactly.
know what I mean? And Kanye, like, he's always been in the public eye. You know what I mean? That's something I love about him. Like, wrongs, rights, whatever. He's like, this is me. Y'all can like crucify me, chastise me, but I'm gonna speak like my truth and how I feel.
Himself.
I love every version of Kanye. Because I feel like he's grown so
much.
Kanye
made society what it is today.
The only Kanye that I really like didn't really get down with was like opioid Kanye, but the rest of them were dope.
He was on pills and shit?
Life of Pablo?
Well, like it was like a little bit after that. Like he just kind of disappeared before Ye. Mm-hmm. You know?
Oh yeah.
He was kind of off.
Life
you know,
of
the
Pablo.
TMZ. Like
it was Life of Pablo
after the before the TMZ.
Yeah.
I fell off with him after Yeezus.
I love Yeezus.
Like when he was I loved Yeezus. Mm-hmm. I'm saying after Yeezus, I felt like because Yeezus was just trying to
I
stop
guess
shit.
he did kind of like
that's when he really got into his shit.
For a while.
You know what I'm saying, or whatever. And he was like all up Tim's ass and shit.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But dude, like I realized it today, man. He's like really the fucking GOAT. Like I was listening to, y'all heard my take on like Jesus is King.
You were shitting on Jesus is King.
Yeah,
You're like, this shit go hard.
Yo, nigga, I've been listening to Follow God. First of all, that's the only song I really like on that fucking album.
Really?
Like Follow God, bro.
I think the whole album's good.
I like them all.
I mean, the whole album is great sonically. Don't get me wrong. Kanye's always good sonically, man.
True.
Like this nigga always comes with the music. But like how you were saying, like his lyrics and shit, sometimes you'll be like, yo, what the fuck am I listening to?
Yeah.
But if you listen to the lyrics of Follow God, bro, he's really speaking some real shit, bro. Like everything, you could break it fucking down. We're gonna do a fucking breakdown on that shit in the future.
We just need to do like a full on Kanye.
We're stands. We're going.
Like mini series podcast because
we're gonna
vlog
about on Sunday because we're going to Sunday service.
We better go now.
We're going.
So speaking of that, guys, so he's having a Sunday service out here in Houston, Texas. Sunday.
At my boy Joel shit.
People
Remember
know Joe.
shit.
People know Lakewood.
Remember
So,
that
guys,
time
if
we went
you-
to Joel shit?
Yeah, I remember that shit.
Dude
If
got
you
the
don't-
Holy Ghost.
Ooh.
Oh, really?
He said, dude,
It's
jigging.
always good when somebody's getting Holy
Some
Ghost.
dude
like
was
you.
jigging hard, bro. Me and Mike was just in there
Hey,
cracking
he was
up.
clapping hard. He was jamming and shit. Yeah, bobbing his head.
I don't know, like
bouncing
Mike,
his knees.
Yo, Mike's fucking mom and his stepdad are like the funniest people because they go through phases.
Oh, yeah.
They like children,
yeah.
bro. They go through phases, so like they got real holy like 1 year.
Yeah.
Oh, they did? Really?
I swear to God, bro. It was like
But,
the
like-
tail end of high school, bro. They got
Well,
like mad holy.
I mean, yeah, they've always been like somewhat religious, you know, whatever.
Right.
Like, but yeah, they definitely they basically live out like all the middle class white family.
But it's funny
stereotypes.
they didn't start that shit till they was like 30. Like all right, they weren't always in it because Georgia used to be ghetto. Helen didn't give a fuck about nothing, bro. Put all junk food and shit in Mike's lunch. We used to just like crash at us. She was never there and shit. Like,
Hey, I know you making it sound like
terrible.
no, she was the greatest. Like, don't get me wrong, I
But
love
see,
her.
no, because I'm responsible. Like, I'm
Right,
like,
yeah, that's why you're
as
so
a
responsible.
Kid, yeah, as a kid, I was like what you'd call a little shit, but like I wasn't. Like, I never got into trouble.
Right, you weren't super
know?
bad.
You was smart as fuck.
Yeah, I was like always responsible. But no, my family always goes through like all the stereotypical white phases.
Nah,
Where
because
like,
it's funny because Giorgio at one point he was like mad hood, drove a Beamer, always was in the
I remember
pocket
the
shit,
red Beamer,
and now he's
yeah,
always
yeah.
like fucking truck and listen to Alan Jackson and shit like that. Like
he had that phase too. He had like the whole nationalism phase, like
Did he?
post 9/11.
Post 9/11,
Well,
yeah,
yeah.
that's when it started, bro.
He had like the Army Green expedition and like the USA flag and
But you know what?
patriotism.
That's fucking dope.
I love him.
He was
Yeah, no,
elevating.
fucking
He was
Giorgio is-
evolving. You know what I mean? He's
no,
open-minded
so-
and shit.
Always, he's always evolving, bro.
yeah.
Always, same thing with his
He
mom,
is,
bro.
always.
Like your dad's been mad stagnant. Like your real dad, mad stagnant. Always
just steady.
feels like-
He's steady,
That's
you
what I
know?
mean, like by stagnant.
Well, stagnant makes it seem like
Oh no, you're right. Steady.
Just
He's
steady,
been
steady.
he's been straight,
Right.
like the same fucking guy.
Consistent.
I'm sorry, I
yes.
used the wrong word. But fucking like, dude, there's just been a roller coaster with your mom and Georgia, bro, and it's always been funny, like the funniest shit to me. Like, but
It's crazy to observe. you
it
know?
is.
I mean,
it's like the funniest
that's
shit.
the one thing. Being like a product of divorce, a child of divorce, I have no qualms with it. Like
Right.
I didn't know. I think I was 3 when my parents split. I didn't know a life outside of that. So it's basically like I've observed. Like I'm like part of like some kind of a psychology experiment where I've observed 2 different types of parenting, 2 different sets of brothers, you know, 2 different suburbs.
different whole lifestyles.
Man, it's just
Whole
so
different
I've seen
lifestyles.
so much. It's made me very well rounded, but I almost wonder if it's made me kind of a master of none, because I try and look at and do so many different things, and you know, instead of just sticking to something, I'm always like, well, what's this about? Let me try
From
this.
what I've
Let me dabble my toe in here.
of knowing you for 20 motherfucking years, like I think that shit's rubbed off on you motherfucking well. But yeah, like that time we went to fucking Lakewood was one of the best times ever, because that was when like that's when motherfucking dude, Austin was like a baby. He was like
Yeah.
a baby. Like she just had him like type shit.
That picture I have of you and Austin where you holding his head. Well, you're like, I said that shit in my phone right now, bro. That shit's hilarious.
It was,
I think it was actually Zach.
it was funny
Oh,
as
that was
fuck,
Zach, you're right, that was
because
Zach.
that was the first time I ever went to like Lakewood.
Sears photos.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that was the first time I ever went to Lakewood. And I remember, like, we dropping the kids off at, like, the daycare in there. And we, like, going to church and shit. And me and you just clowning at the people. So, like, we're gonna, like, be there again. Like, 10 years later, 10, 12 years later. You know what I'm saying?
You think that
On
MySpace
Sunday.
account is still open? That's
Yo,
for another time. That's for another
that
time.
is,
I'm
all
gonna
right.
save that. That's
Yeah,
like its
save
own
that.
episode, probably.
Fucking
That
MySpace
that
was
is,
dope.
yo, Mike
That
used to
shit
do some
started all.
crazy shit.
Little shit. I was a little shit.
Nah, Mike is a little shit, and this nigga was mad internet savvy before like a lot of
was.
people were, bro. Like, you know how people make like fake ass accounts and meme accounts and shit? This nigga was doing that shit back then. We'll get into
But
that
not
shit
like
later.
catfishing, just like
No, not like
goofing
catfishing,
around.
like goofing.
Like, you know it's a fake account,
Right.
but the problem is some people didn't
We
know that.
made
though.
an entire fake character, a nigga named Carter Grady, on MySpace,
you
bro.
snitched on us. Hey, but for real though, people were actually like kind of nervous. Like, man, this dude's crazy. How do you guys know him? I'm like, man, you don't want
That's
to
the
mess with him.
OG, dog. You don't
I think he just turned 19 last week. You know.
Yeah, he had groupies, which is funny.
Oh my god.
I'm
bro.
actually gonna retweet. So we made a Twitter for that one.
Scissors dance.
Yeah, you remember? And
Scissors
I'll retweet that one. I'm gonna tweet that one out here in a bit, just
Oh,
to laugh my ass
man.
off. This dude like quoted like his profile.
Wasn't
like,
it?
this
Wait,
is
wasn't
real
it
shit.
Anthony Mason and no? It was
Nah.
T-Mac and who was it?
So we might as well tell the story of how this gave birth to Carter.
Anthony
Grady
Carter?
briefly. Yeah, it was Anthony Carter and Tracy McGrady, and I think I was playing 2K with Gary, and I think one of us was the Nuggets and one of us was the Rockets.
We fucking
And,
sick, bro.
T-Mac was wrecking, whoever was playing with the Rockets was wrecking with T-Mac, and then whoever had the Nuggets, for whatever reason, was wrecking with Anthony Carter. Not Melo, nobody else, Anthony Carter. And then we were going back and forth, Carter, Grady, Carter, and then like, it just kind of gave birth to a character. It was actually Gangland, which is my favorite.
Viceland.
Gangland is my favorite, like, hotel travel TV viewing.
For real?
Like, you just put that shit on in the background. You can work, you do whatever, you look
This is
up.
my Glock 40 right here. It's my problem
My
solver.
name is Smiley. I go back from, 13 games.
Whatever. They always have, like, you can't hear really what they're saying half the time. Like, the caption will just say, like, question marks. But nah, there was this dude on there, on I think it was, like, a St. Louis. Hey, if you're from St. Louis, listen to this, and you affiliated, don't come after us. Like, we're not. I'm just telling a story.
You can find me in St. Louis. Oh shit!
But he, it was like these St. Louis gangs, and they talked about this dude that he just did the craziest shit. Like, they talked about how he was like definitely killed people, all this crazy shit. They talked about how he got shot like 15 times, and they're like, he survived. I was like, what? And then like he went and, like, shot up somebody's funeral. Like, he was doing camera and shit, down and out. He was doing this, and then he finally gunned him down, and I was like, damn. They were like, he died at the young age of 16 or something like that. I was like, what? Carter Grady. But the funny thing is,
That
Carter
was
Grady.
his backstory.
Carter Grady really just is like real life Chief Keef.
Yeah.
Like, basically.
Motherfucking Keith.
Word. That's so funny, man. It's so funny you brought up St. Louis, and I know we weren't gonna get into this like right now, but bro, Nelly, why isn't Nelly fucking Country Grammar and
He's kind of forgotten
Nellyville
about.
considered classics, hip hop classics?
He's kind of forgotten about, and I don't know why.
Like, is it because he did the country thing?
Ludacris too.
I don't think so. I was just gonna say, like,
You used to
same
hate on
era.
Ludacris.
I still think he's way overrated. Like, I think he's a cool, like, he's more of a
Yeah,
pop
punchlines
rapper
for
for me.
days.
Ludacris was a pop rapper, but
He was
he
unique.
was like
He was
good
very
though.
unique.
That nigga
He's
could
talented.
rhyme.
He's talented. I mean, I like him now. He's fine as a feature, but like, I don't
Like
know
Chicken
if
and
I'd
Beer
ever...
is in my top 10 probably.
Yeah,
Is
bro,
it?
Chicken and Beer was my first album that I ever bought my own money.
For real?
Yep. Chicken
Mine
and
was,
Beer.
I think
late.
Slim Shady OP.
Yeah, nigga talking shit.
No,
That
I'm
bro is
just
like,
like, you
I
label
have a
bias.
job.
Slim Shady OP.
Yeah.
I didn't have a job, you know what I'm saying? So like, I hustle money, and I was like, you know what? I used to always just like stream shit, like what was it,
LimeWire?
LimeWire? Yeah. So like, you know what? I'm
Napster.
actually gonna
Napster, yeah.
Napster. So I was like, you know, I'm gonna go and buy this fucking album.
See, me and Mike used to
It
go
was
like
great.
Soundwaves and like buy shit.
Yeah,
Sometimes.
it
The
was great.
first CD I bought was Slim Shady OP.
Oh yeah, with your own money.
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
And this is when I didn't really know about like parental advisory. So I
Tell you
come
about
home.
the fucking
It
edited
was
version.
edited. I was like, man.
You got it from Walmart.
I was like 9 years old or whatever. I was like, what kind of shit is this?
That shit, I'm not gonna lie. That
It was
shit happened-
Walmart, actually,
That
yeah.
shit happened to me with the Marshall Mathers LP. That was my first edited CD. Like, it wasn't the first CD I ever
It
bought,
didn't
but it
even
was
have
like,
the same track list.
yeah,
Remember?
it didn't. It had
Kim,
the kids. Kim was replaced with the kids and shit.
Yep.
But yeah, man, like, why don't you kids nowadays, speaking of kids, respect Nelly, bro? Nelly was like cold.
We don't respect Nelly anymore.
You think so?
I mean, people. So you go to any club, any whatever, any
Oh, if I
bar,
hear hiding here, nigga, it's going down.
they
I'm
always
definitely
play
getting-
hiding here,
I'm
but
getting
that's
rolled
it
up
though.
on.
Like nobody plays. Like
I'm
what
standing
else?
still like a motherfucker, but I'm getting rolled up on. Y'all know my game, man. But yeah,
People forgot about
I
Nelly.
think it's because Nelly kind of took that pop route, like how
He
we
did
were
like
saying.
the MTV persona. Like that's who he became, an MTV character. And that's kind of like Ludacris did that, but became more of like a movie, like a film actor. Nelly's thing, he just kind of became like an MTV personality.
Nellyville was a great album, as well as Country Grammar. But like Nellyville was a great album. But I think it was the pop thing, Dilemma. You know what I'm saying? He had Kelly Rowland fucking in Excel,
hey, I will
texting
say,
his shit. That's why she was mad.
He did like, I know. She's like, why aren't you VBA responding to me? Like,
like, bitch, you in a cell. Like, what? What are you doing?
All kind of.
Kelly's a
I'm not gonna
go-to,
do corporate
man.
geeky
That's
shit.
another topic right there. You know, Destiny's Child.
Nelly gets
I'm Team
forgotten
Solange.
about, but
Yes, no. Let me shake hands for that nigga. I fucking love Solange.
can
I
get
was
into that
giving Jock
later.
some shit about Solange.
Bro, she's so
I was
fucking
giving Jock
dope.
shit about Solange. The thing
But,
though, like Nelly became like that MTV personality,
Right.
and you only really ever hear like Hot in Here and shit like that. You never hear anything else that he plays.
And be real,
But I
y'all.
will say this: he was good about like marketing. I like some of the shit he did. Like he did Sweat and Suit.
Yeah.
Remember, like that was smart.
Hey, I'm be
That
real
was-
with y'all niggas right now, man. It's probably like saying too much, but whatever. Nelly's, he's always gonna be memorable to me and like one of the goats because y'all
You
remember
lost your virginity to
no,
Nelly.
y'all remember Tip Drill video?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's the
I used
first
to
time I
bust
beat
so
off.
many
The
nuts,
first
bro.
time like I fucking
BET,
beat off was the
You were
Tip
late on
Drill.
that too,
BET,
Fuck
you
y'all.
were. You were, bro.
We were nasty. I was a little shit. What I say?
No, we was little shits, bro. We was,
Yeah, I
we was
guess I
beating
was.
off, man.
Tip
Yeah,
drill.
Tip Drill, that was like high school,
I was like,
nigga.
fuck all these fat ass booty. Like all this, you know, and I was young.
That was an era.
I was young. and it just-
Ludacris too,
Hey.
because Ludacris started that shit with P Poppin'.
Well, you
Which
catch.
also, y'all didn't know that P Poppin' was produced by Pharrell. Did you guys know that?
I didn't, but that's
Did you know that Stand Up, that doom doo doo doom Stand Up, that was produced by Kanye?
Yeah, that makes sense actually.
Yeah.
So speaking of Kanye, that was the last point I was gonna make with Nelly. I like that he also did. I think it was called like he made a CD that was just like remixes to his old shit.
Yeah, the dirty versions.
The dirty versions.
That's what
Yeah.
Tip Drill was on.
Yeah, that was yep, exactly.
What you looking for?
The ball opener. Trying to open
Chance
this
probably
shit.
has that.
Nah, I don't, because he opened.
But that's
this one
kind of
for
like
me.
ahead of his game, you know, like because like you look at
He
the people
was.
now that do like the different like the remix versions, like you know like
'cause
even
I'm-
making your own compilation. Like I kind of like Drake re-put shit out, like
Right.
you could just get away with that shit.
Nah,
Speaking of
Nelly,
Drake-
Nelly pioneered that shit.
Yeah, speaking of Drake, so how do y'all feel about Drake getting booed at?
It was humbling for him. Like, I think that's exactly what he needed. What I don't
Can you tell
like.
the viewers the whole story behind
Okay,
that?
so Drake performed at Camp Flognaw this past weekend, but he was a surprise guest. Not only was he a surprise guest, he was a surprise headliner. So these people thought that they was gonna get Frank Ocean, and okay, if you know, okay,
They're not alike at all.
like
No,
they're not like that. Festival wasn't for Drake at all. That's why he got booed. And that's what artists nowadays need to kind of understand is that like, yo, this, you know, like everybody don't fuck with you know, like all artists
Right.
or whatnot. Like I'm not a Drake fan at all. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not a Drake fan at all.
I'm not
But I
either.
fuck with Tyler. And if I was at that concert, if I was at that festival and Drake motherfucking came out,
He'd be like, what
I
the
would have
fuck is
booed
this
fucking
shit?
too. I would have been like, yo, what
Don't
the
lie.
fuck?
You be like, I got enemies. I got enemies.
Nah, if he would have played nonstop, I ain't gonna lie, I would have got down. But other than that, though, I would have been like, nah, man, like that's right. And for Tyler to get mad, Tyler should have known. Tyler was one of those Drake haters. You know what I'm
At the
saying?
beginning, you're right. I
Like
forgot about
Tyler
that.
should have known. Like just because like you guys are at that same kind of level, you know what I'm saying? Like we're like in successfully, like y'all. Everyone's not everyone's fans.
If you get hoodwinked, like it's okay if you get booed. It's
But
okay
Drake,
for
I
you
don't
to boo.
feel like Drake
Right.
ever got booed to that degree.
I don't think he's ever got booed
Yeah, that's
before.
what I'm
Oh,
saying.
nah,
So, like,
not at all.
that shit, like you
what's
said,
up.
to piggyback on what you were saying, bro, it was a very humbling experience. Because he's like, shit, these niggas are really booing me. Like, I'm Drake, the #1 artist for years, for a while.
10 years.
I don't like Drake. I'm not a fan, but I respect what he's doing. He knows the formula. He learned the
makes some
formula. He
hits.
learned the formula from
He
Tupac.
has hits
Right,
after hits
after
after
hits.
hits after
He
hits.
learned the
Can't
formula.
deny him.
Right. He learned that shit from Tupac. Like, make slow music for the women, and that's been a success ever since. Tupac
Right.
put him on game with that shit. Everybody.
Right.
And so what I'm saying is, it doesn't matter how big you are. If it's a certain like crowd of they like Frank heads.
Not everybody gonna fuck with you.
Exactly. Like everybody can get booed. Everybody has the capability of getting booed. That's just how it is. And like he sees it, and I'm like, oh shit, I'm actually I'm the mega superstar, but like these people are very real. And so like times are changing, man. Like they really are.
I mean, there's different demographics for different motherfuckers. I mean, it's different strokes for different folks, man.
Yep.
Like it's that didn't surprise me. What surprised me is the people like, oh, they wanted to see Frank or whatever. No, it wasn't just that. Like in that video or the few clips that we saw from that shit, like people were yelling Frank. Those were the people that were like filming. Exactly. Those were the people that were like filming and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because you would hear them closer. But like, no, they were booing you because they don't fuck with you like that shit.
Right, and they weren't expecting that. Like, because Tyler, how he was selling it, like, I'm about to bring a friend out. Can I bring another friend out?
Yeah.
Frank is his friend. They fuck with each other, so like they didn't know like.
And then Frank has been dropping music.
Yeah, exactly. Cryptic messages on
like,
Twitter or whatever.
He I don't know if you guys ever noticed, but like when DHL and that the one that came out like last week, that shit go hard.
Yeah.
But if you look at the bottom. All those are gonna be like different. Those are pictures,
yeah,
like the silhouettes.
Yeah,
those are like pictures that are gonna be releases. He's just releasing them randomly and shit,
and doing it his Frank way that he always mysteriously and shit,
And
so,
like
that's, I agree, bro.
That's just what it is. I mean, like Drake shouldn't.
Drake needs to have better self-awareness though. Like, people
but that's what's wrong with
Frank.
That's what's wrong with hip hop though, because hip hop is not just hip hop; it's hip pop nowadays.
Okay.
Like. It's mad inclusive. Everyone can do it. Like, nigga, if we want to make an album right now, Mike, we could do it.
Oh, I got the concept already.
You got a track list and everything.
Speaking of album, bro, that beat that you sent was fire, bro. That beat that you sent. In the
when I sampled "Let It Go."
Nigga, that shit was fire. I was like, Chance did this shit, bro. I was like,
man, I ain't gonna lie. Like, when I heard the news about my boy passing and shit, man, I just like pulled out my computer, because like that's all we used to do was like virtual DJ. All me and Tom T used to do, man. Shout out Tom T, man. R.I.P. Yeah, we'll come to that or whatever. But that's like why I hopped on that shit. It was just like, yo, man, let me pull out my old computer. This computer is like 10 years old. It's a Dell.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Not Adele, the singer, but like, dude, you're getting Adele.
Bro,
you
giving me RZA vibes right now. And it's like your hair and everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, RZA. No, I'm serious. RZA was one of the fucking GOATs, and he used shit that was like old, outdated. Look what he did. Wu-Tang.
Man,
you know what I'm saying?
Wu-Tang is my shit.
Wu-Tang is great.
Bro, it is.
I've always like kind of been down with Wu-Tang, but like the last year, I've been like
you've been on that shit heavy.
Stan.
Yeah, me too.
And I think
Liquid
that's
Swords, man.
I think that's something we should get back to. Like, there's not a lot of boom bap. I hate the sound of hip hop nowadays. I hate these niggas whining on the track. Everybody got auto tune. All the beats sound the same. They're 5 beats. Don't get me wrong. Do not get me wrong.
Like
it's not even just a SoundCloud sound because like that's kind of a stigma or whatever, that because most people drop their shit on SoundCloud first. You know what I'm saying? Before they blow up.
It's like a label now that's it wasn't really like it's inaccurate, but like now it's kind of became its own thing.
I mean, like Rocky came from SoundCloud. Fucking Space Ghost Perp. I mean, everybody.
I forgot about Space Ghost.
Like, everybody kind of came from SoundCloud at one point. But, like, now, you got the SoundCloud rappers, your Lil Uzis. Well, actually, I think McConan actually kind of took it off, which is weird as fuck.
Yeah. That song goes hard.
It does. But I think McConan really kind of started that SoundCloud rapper shit. You know what I'm saying? Because... like, he came out with this one song. Drake hopped on that shit. Uzi, like, you know what I'm saying? You get all the Lil Pump, all the kids with the dirty dreads, with the colors in that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you get that shit. Lil Peep, all these, like, like emo ass. Like, I mean, we have emo rap nowadays.
Yeah.
Like
subgenres.
Like subgenre of rap. Like, so it's hip hop. Like, hip hop is the biggest genre of music right now.
But I miss the old shit, right? But like, how many people? Everybody says that,
right?
Whatever. But I kind of like that it's gotten to this point that there are subgenres.
Oh no, I love it. I'm a hip hop head, so like I definitely respect. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo,
Like
do
there
your
wasn't
thing.
much.
Like,
There wasn't much range maybe in the past. You know, like
I mean, because
Tupac,
we had gatekeepers.
like you could say like Tupac and Dre and Snoop, like even though they're kind of like, you know, Death Row, they all had pretty distinct sounds, right? But now, I mean, you got like Migos, Travis Scott, Drake.
All these people
Like,
from
they're
different
in the same
fucking
genre?
places.
You know what I mean?
They're
Like-
from different regions,
Yeah.
different states, different countries. Jake's from fucking Canada. They all sound the fucking same. And like, I love Trav. Like, you know what I'm saying? Trav used to come to my house and like hang out type shit, back in the Gap before he
I
got
feel like they
famous.
sound so different though. It sounds so like it's like a different, like a new wave. You know, it's very much the production is way different.
It is.
But I like that there are subgenres, and I like that artists will do. I mean, for the most part, they'll sound similar, right? Like
Right.
most Migos songs sound the same.
Right.
Most Travis Scott songs sound the same. But they'll also have some range where like some will be like way different.
Oh
you know?
no, like don't
And you're
doubt
like,
me. These
what
kids,
the hell?
these kids nowadays, they're very
talented.
good. They're
Doing their own
talented.
shit,
They're
self-made.
even lyrical. Like we spoke on this, I think at the last part. They're even like they are. If you really listen to like
maybe not like speaking about anything
not of substance.
like they flow,
but like
though,
they're
you know?
they can flow. Like they can write. You know what I'm saying? Like. Shit, sometimes Juice WRLD shit, like I be
Yachty.
feeling that shit. Lil Yachty.
Yachty, yep.
At first, I hated Lil Yachty. I was like,
Yeah.
"What the fuck is this nigga mumbling
Yachty wrote
about?"
the whole fucking
Motherfucking
City
Yachty
Girls.
goes hard, bro.
Do you know that, Mike?
He what?
He wrote real ass bitch give a fuck about nigga. What's that song about the City Girls? Act Up. He wrote the whole Act Up song.
I don't know none of them shit.
No, he
about
did.
City Girl, but
He wrote that whole song Act Up, and they went #1.
He's a
and shit.
talented dude.
So, yeah, he's very talented.
He's
It's going to
talented,
make
and I like him now with like QC.
yeah, oh for sure. Like, he's their like, other than Migos, he's their flagship artist. And I mean, and that all stemmed from Gucci Mane. I was a big Gucci Mane fan.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? All that whole
You're big on Gucci Mane.
that whole sound.
We
came
had like
from
a heated
Gucci.
debate about. You were like Gucci Mane.
Nah, Gucci Mane
He's
one
like
of the
the
goats,
most
bro.
influential ever.
Gucci Mane is
You
the
were like
most
on that.
Yeah, I mean
He's one of the goats.
He
to me.
nowadays, if you look at rap at what it is now, Gucci Mane is one of the most influential people, like of
I agree.
like the whole landscape.
I'm be real with you. I didn't fuck with Gucci initially. This nigga's trash. You know what I'm saying? It's because like at the time I'm listening to Pharrell. You know what I mean? Count in my
Right.
mind and shit like that. And then Gucci came in. It was like a different element, right? It was trap. Like, you know, shit's different. But I don't know if I like it or not. Then my stepbrother came. He listened to Gucci hard. Gucci and Shawty Low. Like, man, them niggas hard. And I'm
Shawty Low.
like, yeah, I'm like, these niggas
Shawty
trash.
Yeah, Jock was sad when he died, and I was
Yeah.
like, I'm not happy he died, like, you know. But I was like,
Nah,
I just
Shawty
didn't
Low-
have any. I was like, I didn't have any kind of, you know, like relation to him. Jock's like, I'm not gonna lie, this kind of hit me hard. I was like, what?
Shawty Low actually is one of the goats too, man. Like, I mean, it's a lot of guys out there that like we can. I mean, see, hip hop is so universal now that we can literally look back at all those dudes like that and be like, yo, like, yeah, they influenced this, they influenced that, like, and that's like just what it is. But like, I mean, you know what it really has done, and I'll end it at this, man. Like what hip hop has really done for me, it's made me like R&B a lot more.
Ooh. Speaking of R&B, bro, shout out to Jacquees's new album. That shit's dope. It's
I
called
thought
King
he was a
R&B.
cover artist.
Bro, he's dope,
I thought you were talking about yourself. I was like,
Yeah,
what?
yeah, I was like, what?
What'd you put
You
out?
sing, nigga?
No, but
Explain,
like,
because I've always gotten down with R&B.
I've always gotten down with R&B.
like
come
new
on.
R&B sucks.
No, I'm not talking about like that.
I know.
That's the same. That's the same shit as just like rap now. I'm talking about like
Yeah.
I like that trippy. I like that Innocent Pack, like the drug song, like him and Suede or whatever. Like what else? I like that trippy shit, and I'm like starting to get on like you know, like Tame Impala and like
definitely like the you're talking about that whole
that,
like,
like,
vibey type
yeah,
R&B,
just
yeah,
like shit that make me want to like dance and like jig and shit.
And you
like,
can actually dance to it.
yeah,
like, to
like
the rhythm.
seriously, like
Right.
literally, like, and I always
But I
like
find the rhythm.
I grab that pony, you know, like, bro, like that shit right there, that really gets me down. Like I could go like
Yeah.
if I walk into like if we
It's
would go
universal,
out
too.
right now,
uh-huh.
I would rather hear some motherfucking like I said, like Tame Impala or
Theophilus.
motherfucking
Or the Marias. You know, there's different music.
Emotional Oranges. Like, I would rather hear shit like
Blood
that.
Orange.
Like, you know, Cassius, fuck, I forgot the kid's name or whatever, but like Alina Baraz,
yeah.
shit like that. Like, I would rather hear that shit like going out because I would actually be grooving.
It's universal. Like
Like-
everybody's
I
dancing
think
to
also
that.
to piggyback on what you guys like are saying right now, the older we get, our styles, our music taste changes too. So we like that more like vibey, hipsterish type music where it's like shit, we can just smoke, chill to this, and like have a good ass conversation. It's nothing too like heavy or too low. It's kind of like
Right.
mid range, you know. So like that's where I'm at right now. That's why I love that type of music, man. It's dope.
Sports, nigga,
Yeah.
whatever you want. Jungle, like with that Happy Man shit.
you
Like,
guys,
yo, that's good music.
Yeah.
That's artistry right there.
I agree.
Like, I like the range of that because, like you were saying, Jack, earlier, like we came up on like Pharrell. Like we were, all three of us,
Right.
huge fucking Pharrell fans.
BBC,
I'm
Ice
talking
Cream, all that shit.
I'm talking about back in NERD days. You know what I mean? Like, you know, like. And when Pharrell was producing for like Nori and shit, like those were my like, you know what I'm saying? Like that was the shit I was vibing to, and like I would always look for like production notes and shit like that. Like
The only knock on, like, I love that kind of music. I can listen to shit all the time.
Yeah.
If I ever want to be, like, pensive and, like, hear, like, man, I want to hear some poetry. Can't really listen to that because I don't even know what the hell they're saying.
Right.
I don't even know the lyrics. Like, oh, no, 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 no.
Yeah, just
It's like,
kind of
yeah.
Barbarella.
Mouths into the words.
Barbarella's a place to play that type
well,
of music.
like see me like. Not only will I like love to hear that shit like out, you know what I'm saying, like when I'm out or whatever, but like, you know, me, I spend most of the time of the day with myself, so I listen to a lot of fucking music. I mean, that's just like literally what I do. If I'm not making music or like just sitting around watching fucking TV or some shit like that, take care of my nephews, I'm listening to music. You know what I'm saying? Trying to get like some type of vibe, especially like this past year. You know what I mean? Like all it's been is like just listening to music. I'm trying to get into that shit. Like, I want to be as eclectic as possible, you know, because I think that all good music, like, you take from other things. Because, like, you know, me as being somewhat of an artist, like, I'm not saying that, like, you know, check out my SoundCloud type shit. Like, but I do
That's
make
your trade.
music when I feel like it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, it's good to, like, have that, like, you know, to listen to more than, like, fucking trap beats and shit like that, you know, like, and I just think that that's where we are now, you know, like, and us being, like, big Pharrell fans, like, he's, like, really the GOAT of, like, that music
He really is,
shit.
like, not only like does he look ageless, I mean, he's like, I
Yeah.
don't know how old he is. He's been active, like, in the
He's
same
probably
age.
mid-40s. Probably mid-40s.
You don't think he's close to 50s now?
Shit, he could be
'Cause, I mean,
upwards of 50.
I don't know. Because what was it, like, Rump Shaker? What was that, like, 87?
Nah, Rump Shaker was, like, 91. But still, that was, like, you know, him and Chad
Yeah.
wrote on that shit. Like,
I only have the movie savant thing, not music. Where I,
Right.
like, can pinpoint, like, a movie to the date.
Right.
I can't do it with music as well.
you can't...
I mean, like, since I've been alive,
Right.
like, I know, like, oh, that came out in 05, you know?
Nah, but I mean, I don't know. Like, I just think that with everything, how music is going, like, I love the direction it's going. But, I mean, I just want kids, like, nowadays to kind of, like, step outside of the box. Because people like us, like, we're all, like, our whole crew was mad diverse. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And we all listen to kind of different shit. Well, like, we feed off that shit, you know? And I think that, I mean, like, get in your R&B bag, man. Like, that's just dank. Like, I love that
R&B,
shit.
bro. That's my favorite type music. And I also I just want to say this real quick. I respect R&B because it's universal. Music is universal first and foremost. That's how we all can relate. That's all these different races,
It's the one
cultures.
thing that brings us together.
Exactly, music. That's why I always love it, and I always love R&B because I grew up on that shit. Remember y'all back in the days, man, like, is this your fucking mom's mixtape playlist? Like, I'm an old soul.
I'm a
I
old
like,
soul.
me too.
Yeah.
I listen to it. Nah,
Yeah.
I always get down to it. And that's why I like music now.
Me and Mike
It's
is
so
always
much-
there. You know, you
Yeah.
are my loving baby. You got me twisted.
Girl, I was just here.
Oh, man.
Keith Sweat goes hard.
Yo, straight up.
You know what else brings people together? Disney.
Disney.
And lately, hey, Disney Plus.
Yo,
Okay, so
it's not Netflix and chill no more. It's Disney and this dick.
Wow.
A little bit more forward, right?
Yeah.
Lion King and, whatever.
Lion King
style.
and Dick Swain.
Oh my gosh, you're so silly, bro.
I got it. So the whole buzz building up to it, I was like, okay, I've seen all these movies. I don't really care to get it. Whatever. What's the allure, right? Mm-hmm. And then, because I own a lot of the movies anyway.
Right.
And then they're like, oh, you get Disney Plus if you have Verizon. So I'm like, oh, shit, I have Verizon? Yeah. If it's free, I'll do it.
Why not?
Now I'm like, all right, I haven't watched anything on there yet, but just looking through, I already knew what was going to be on there,
right.
But actually seeing it with your eyes, like, damn, all of this shit in one spot. And there are a lot of movies, too, that you're like, I didn't realize Disney, I didn't even think about.
Well, they bought a lot of properties.
Yeah, and I mean, there's a lot of
shit.
things that's, like, tied to Disney, but it's not like, Dumbo or, like,
right.
and I didn't even really think about that, So I was like, I get it free for a year. It's only $8 a month. I'm probably gonna just keep it after, and I haven't even touched it yet.
Right.
Hey, you know what's cool about like Disney too, and actually the Apple Plus app as well, because Apple Plus has like their own streaming service too that you get free for a year.
That's the future.
Well.
Word?
Yeah. So
Apple TV.
Apple TV Plus.
Oh,
yeah, it's their own streaming service. So Apple TV Plus. Once you actually get that, you can link Disney Plus to Apple TV Plus's app, and it's all under one thing.
Damn.
Yeah, which is dope. So you have to keep switching back
Yeah,
and forth.
because I mean, you can still use it even without the Apple Plus service. Like it's just TV, right?
And it pops up.
Yeah,
so
and you can go there and just search like Breaking Bad, and it'll like show the title, and you'd click it, and it'll open from the Netflix app, so you don't have to go to Netflix.
Yeah.
If you have HBO, it might just say like
that makes
The Wire.
sense. That makes sense for Apple.
Right.
That makes sense. For Apple.
So I haven't tried Disney Plus. Like I haven't watched anything on. I just got it like Wednesday, Thursday, whenever it
that
came
shit
out.
really just kind of dropped
Like
the
48
other day.
hours ago,
Yeah, 48
something like
hours.
that. As we're taping it now,
I was trying to watch Darkwing Duck, but that shit was not
They got
working on my.
Darkwing Duck on this bitch.
Yo, they got
Oh my
everything on that
gosh.
motherfucker.
That's
Yo,
so
if
classic.
they, yo,
That's
I
so
gotta
deep.
find bunkers. If they got bunkers on that motherfucker, it's going down,
They
bro.
probably got DuckTales too, huh?
Woo, hell yeah.
Chip and Dale. Oh my god.
Chip and Dale, Rescue Rangers, yo.
Hey, so did y'all see Netflix responded?
They did?
They made a deal with Nickelodeon.
Oh yeah,
shit,
gotta get that rocket
Rugrats.
power, bro.
Rocket Power.
Rocket Power, yeah.
Dog.
Hell yeah.
God damn. Okay.
I'm
fighting.
I'll be impressed. Look, that's what's good about that's one of the good things about capitalism, right? It makes for competition.
Mm-hmm.
Competition means you got to respond. So Netflix had to ante up, get some new IP. They got some Nickelodeon, but I don't want them to at me unless they re-upped Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Oh, they got to.
I know that
No.
they talked about doing a mini, like a re-release of it this fall, and I must have missed it, but give me some Are You Afraid of the Dark. I'll be if they added all the episodes of Are You Afraid of the Dark, which you'd have to think they did, or they will if they made that deal, I'll never leave Netflix. I'll recant my Netflix sucks if they have just that one show.
Yo,
All the Are You Afraid of the Dark.
Okay, can I give y'all a gripe though, real quick, about like all the
That's why we're here.
streaming shit? You know what I'm
why I'm
saying?
here.
And like, yeah, you know why I'm here. But don't at me about this shit. Yo, why the fuck we just couldn't stick with cable?
It's gonna happen.
We about
again.
to like,
So
we paying the same
Netflix-
fucking shit.
Netflix changed the game. Then you got your Hulu and all these other streaming services that pop up.
Competition,
Hulu's
so you
fine,
don't
right?
have no
Well,
monopoly.
and then you've got like now like the actual cable companies like ESPN are like, well, we need to go more towards the subscription service, ESPN Plus. You get exclusive
but
content.
isn't that what you already had in cable?
Well, and that's what's going to end up happening. So now it's going to be, well, I want to watch, Marvel's titles. Oh, but I also want to watch Netflix originals. Oh, but HBO has some good shows.
You're about to be paying
So
$120.
you got to let me finish my point.
I'm sorry.
So you're going to end up getting each one of those. 99% of the time I'm agreeing with what you're going to say, and you're interrupting like I'm arguing the point. But I'm getting there. You get all these different services. It ends up costing you $50, $60. It's like, why would you go away from cable? Like, ultimately what's going to end up happening is we're just going to say, man, if only there was one thing that had all of these channels in one spot. And then it's like, I got it. Cable.
Exactly.
Like, that's going to happen again, and then it's going to, it's just the ebbs and flows.
Exactly.
The ebbs and flows of the
actually,
market.
that kind of takes you back because y'all kind of just put me on like the Apple TV shit.
Uh-huh.
That's obviously the like the big umbrella for all of it.
Well, and you see, like, it's from, like, it
Light
starts...
Light bulb, yep.
it starts from like little
Bro,
things
do you realize
like
Apple?
Snapchat.
I'm sorry, like I don't want to cut you off or anything. Apple's $1 trillion company. $1 trillion company.
Yeah,
They
you
have
got stock in that shit, huh?
Yeah, they have a long. I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. But they have a long range and everything. So, Chance, I agree with what you were saying, bro.
No, I mean they're always ahead of the fucking curve.
Uh-huh.
Like they're always ahead of the curve. So like I could see like, oh, okay, that does make sense. Why they in Apple TV they would have Disney Plus. They obviously have
Every
Netflix.
day.
They have, you know what I'm saying? Like so blah blah blah. All these streaming services
Each of
in
these
one
services,
place.
like they're basically like ESPN is basically okay. If you have cable, you have ESPN, but if you have ESPN Plus, you get prime time with Chris Berman and Tom Jackson and all these other Peyton's, circle jerk or whatever the hell it
When
is.
Fox Plus gonna come out so I can just watch Joy Taylor all day?
Just Joy Taylor.
Just-
She probably would have a Joy Taylor show.
Joy Taylor all
Because
day.
that's the point I'm making is that
I love you, Joy Taylor.
Netflix started this.
At me. You can at me.
Netflix started this when they had, hey, we have all these combinations and stuff like that, all these different shows and movies and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Then they had to create their own property to separate, right, from the competition.
Right.
They did that, and then you even see social platforms have started to do that, like Snapchat. I mean, this isn't recent, but they started having the stories that were actual, news stories like Vice or whatever
Right.
you follow.
Right, yeah.
It's exclusive to Snapchat. I don't know where I can find. Like some of that content you can just Google. But some of it, I think, is exclusive.
Most of them
to
have
Snapchat.
like YouTube, but like the shit that they like put like for the snaps. I mean, they obviously they tailor it for
Right.
like, oh, this is like better for this article would be better on Snapchat because we could just put the fucking headline, these 3 fucking sentences right there. That's your news. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
right there.
Oh, and they're good with it. They're good with it. They're
I'm also-
capitalizing on like the short attention spans. But you even see it with like Facebook Watch. The Tom Brady thing, which I haven't even watched, which is funny because I'm a Tom Brady stan.
Yeah.
But
Hey,
even social
let me ask
media,
you something real quick on the Tom Brady thing. Would you kiss him in the mouth?
cheek.
Like,
I don't
he'll
know,
kiss
like,
you in the mouth,
If I don't
though.
know, like Mike.
I would just blush and just give an "aw gee, thanks," kind of thing. Like he
Nah,
would say.
he'll be like, "Come here, man, kiss me, my son, and my dad."
That's getting weird. I'd be like,
Yeah,
at that point, I'd be like, wait, hold up, man, this is getting weird.
like,
What if he was like, "And my wife,
He'd be like, "Hey, come here, man.
Giselle"?
Go ahead,
Hey.
go ahead, go
Hey,
ahead."
Giselle kind of fine.
No,
so.
kinda.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, hey, But
Yo, I got a theory. I'm sorry, this is kind of off topic, but I think all celebrities like swing. That's why they all like
Probably.
hop on each other. Do you think that that goes back to a few episodes ago and shit? I don't know if we even talked about this. Are the laws coming here?
nah,
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
Because this could be, you know what I'm saying? I could be living all the Hollywood secrets and shit right now. Yo, do you think that like motherfucker like fucking what's that shit? Monogamy? Like that shit's really just like, like some social construct to keep us like not woke?
I think honestly, bro,
I
like,
can't
like,
comment.
To my,
I understand, but I'm
Like,
just
I mean,
saying.
you know what I mean? Like,
No, I mean like not from. I mean, dude, I believe like in marriage, like because like there's
Right.
But I'm just talking about like just like
I mean, yeah.
I think
I will
you
say
know.
this. I say
go
I
ahead.
can't comment.
Right.
I'm obviously monogamous,
right.
Of course.
but married, whatever. Not
I mean,
that it's
we
whatever. Not that it's whatever.
We
But
all are.
I'm getting to my point.
Right. We understand.
Yeah. So
Don't at him.
You find yeah. I feel like a lot of it is you have to find that person that you can just partner up with, like, and it helped in my case because we were friends first. So all the hard part was out. There was no like awkwardness. Like, I mean, there was some kind of like, wait, like, should we? We were both kind of apprehensive at first,
Right.
but I think that's a lot of what it is. Now, I don't think you can always find that. I honestly think if for whatever reason this didn't happen or whatever, I never would have gotten married. Like,
But-
I never, like, had I not met who I'm with, had I not met
But
Ellie, I
I'm
don't know if I
asking
ever would.
this generally. You don't have to answer this or whatever, but you are like the only one that's like married or whatever in this pod right now talking. Like, do you think that like couples? And I don't mean you. I'm just saying in general. Like, do you think that like couples, if they are very like best friends, because like I would hope that you marry your best friend.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I was in a relationship with my best friend for 10 years, not you. You know what I mean? Like, pause, son.
Pause.
Nah, but like, and I thought that going forward, like no matter what, like she'll still be my friend. Like I don't give a fuck. Like you know what I'm saying? You wanna go fuck some guy or some shit like that?
I think we might have talked about this.
I'll go fuck some other bitches. You know, like it's
know
all
about
good.
that.
We can fucks together. You know, like
I mean,
also,
but that's
right,
the thing.
like-
So
like-
here's the thing with like to that point and to just marriage in general. We've talked about this before, where like people will assign labels, right? Mm-hmm. So it's like, oh, we're married. That means all of these black and white criteria you have to fit to a T. Like, no. I think that's why people divorce, because they feel like there's such set, rigid rules that you're supposed to follow, and you're like, oh, you know, we're supposed to do everything together. Da, 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 da.
Right.
The reason it works with me and Emily, with Emily and I, is that we have our independence. She can do her thing, I do my thing. We're not up in each other's shit. You know, like, we care about each other's interests, obviously. I mean, we're
Right.
married. We're going to have a family together and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. But we're not up in each other's shit. And, like, I podcast. She probably doesn't give two shits about podcasting, but it's like, this is my thing. I do this, you know?
Right.
She has her own interests. We operate
y'all not
independently.
up each other's ass all the time.
We do things together, but it's basically three entities.
Y'all do a lot of shit together.
Yeah, it's three
A lot of
entities,
shit.
right? It's me, her, and us. You know? And I feel like a lot of marriages, they feel like it can only be us.
Us, dude.
Do you
Yo.
feel
See,
like
if
speaking
you let me
the-
finish,
You
I ain't
speaking
see,
the
I'm
fucking
telling
truth right
you.
now, my nigga.
Mike, do you feel like marriage
I feel like
also...
everyone needs to hear that.
Yeah, but that's some real shit you were saying. My question to you and some of the viewers, like out there, shout out to the viewers as well.
Ain't nobody looking at us.
Do you... listeners. You're the same shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah. You should be putting this on your story right now.
Nah, I'm good. So I'm trying to use social media. Like, I'm trying to chill from that, you know what I mean? So, like, I'm
Me
you
too.
know, I'm going to shout out, obviously, you know, but I'm not, like, going to record while I'm doing this. Like, nah. But, yeah, so back to the question I was going to ask. Do you feel like with marriage that it also is going to be, or also is, a business partnership as well?
A lot of the time it is. And I think because of it, like, by tax reasons, it, like, is... You know, like you have to basically sit down, like, do we want to do this joint? Do we want to file separately?
Right.
But in a lot of ways, you look and it's almost like, well,
I think it's more of a benefit than a, like, not business. I think it's more kind of a business, like, we can help each other with this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
that's probably
It's kind of
what
like
it
a mutual thing. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, like, benefit, like, oh, shit, you know, like, oh, like, you know, like, benefits. Like,
no, but that's
rent.
part of it too,
But
though,
yeah,
I think. You know, I
like-
think some people get married just because they're like, well, it's a tax
Well, I mean,
break. And some
Right,
people,
but
yeah.
I mean, I think that, but not, like, throughout this entire world, first of all, we're mad primitive. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
yeah, for sure.
I think that, like, even now, with the technology and everything that we have, like, that marriage, social construct of, like, how we live our lives and shit nowadays is such a young thing, dude. Like, people in fucking Rome, like, yeah, they were married and shit. Dude, they all, every night, orgies. You know?
Well, and that, again, I think maybe, do you think maybe the label thing is American?
I think it's Western.
Okay.
I think it's Western.
But think about Africa, for example. How
I'm pretty sure they dick swinging. out
No,
there.
they have 8 wives and stuff. You know, it's
Middle
it's-
East.
Yeah, that too. It's common
Cradle
out
of
there.
civilization.
It's a very American thing. Now, don't get me wrong. You meet the love of your life. You know, shout out Sharon, baby. You meet the love of your life. You know what I mean? Somebody that you know is gonna ride.
Shout out
with you.
Joy Taylor.
That's gonna ride with you, make you better. Yeah, like we're already trained and brought up like, hey, we should be with like one person. It's wrong, like you said, like to just venture out. But also depends on like your social status and like your different brackets. Cause
So
like,
it is a social construct, social status type thing.
I agree exactly.
When I
But
say,
it,
like,
only in Westerns, right?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
like motherfucking like, you know, Asian people, like they have what are they called, concubines, shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like they have like the queen and shit, but they got like little bitches on the side, and they're like, you know what I'm saying? Like the emperor, like they fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I'm not saying like, oh, like yeah, find your like, you know, the one, and then like fuck other bitches or whatever. I'm just saying that like Western civilization, Western society has like had us kind of in this bubble of, I mean, it's like ownership.
I feel like sex is such a big deal here. That's why.
It is.
Because
Everywhere else in the
look
world
at-
it's not.
People
Yeah,
look at America and they're like, yo, that's the Wild West. They're crazy. They get to do whatever they
But
want.
we're mad conservative.
Yeah, especially
mad
when it
conservative.
comes to sex. Like, it's such a taboo, and people are so like coy about it, and like it's just so casual out there. And that's the funny thing, that like the perception is like laissez-faire, anything goes here. But it's
Dude,
like when it
I
comes
love
to
that
sex,
word, laissez-faire.
it's a good.
That's
word.
why I
Yeah,
took.
it is a good
That's why I
word.
took French, bro.
It's really
Like,
good word, bro.
yo, straight up.
Rough.
But for real, it's just like, okay, now like, oh, America, it's crazy. You know, they just do whatever the hell they want there.
American women, ooh, so sexy. They come to Dubai.
Ooh la la.
We can buy them.
You know, it's funny. We were talking last time about social media and like MySpace and stuff like that, and how like the move was kind of like you would friend somebody, and then like, you know, you sneak in their messages, right? Which evolved into like, oh, you go in their DMs. Yeah. But it's funny because I feel like it also gave birth to like all those dudes just comment on Instagram, send pics, BB, sexy BB, well, marry me, BB. You know what I'm talking about? It gave birth to all that shit.
Hell yeah.
It's like, where you at, BB? Come see me.
Yo, you know what's weird? Like, okay, you know how we used to like kind of do that like back in the MySpace days and shit? Like, we used to like do that shit. Like, we were just like hollering, like we went to different schools, you know? Like, well, you guys went to the same school, I went to a different school or whatever. Like, I went to school in the city, y'all went to school in the suburbs. So, you was like, yo, check out this girl, she fine or whatever. And, like, I check him out, and I'll, like, talk to them or whatever. But, like, later on in life, you'll, like, know them because they're like your gal, like, friend and shit like that.
Oops.
It's like, what the fuck?
Man,
Like,
I will say this. So, we're talking about all the big media giants and stuff like that. That though I don't use Facebook at all. I
Me
use
neither.
it
Nobody
for
does.
I only use it for, like,
when I travel
I
and
don't
I
know.
take a bunch of pics. I'm like, I'm not going to post 70 pictures to Instagram. I'm not going to do that to Twitter. I could do that all at the same time on Facebook, really just to store it. You know, like,
Right.
I look at that shit. I don't like track
It's not
likes
for-
and shit
it's
like
not
that.
for
Like,
anybody else,
I bet
it's
you
for you.
95% of the stuff that I've put has no likes at all. So, Facebook, I'll use it just for like that. But I also like when you go on there, it's like, you may know. Like, that's a freaky feature, but it's also kind of like, huh.
I do know this
How the
bitch.
hell they know this shit?
Yeah.
And then the other funny part is like, you go on somebody, oh man, I got a story.
Mutual friends?
Yeah. So you see like mutual friends, right? So I'm not gonna say any names to protect the unguilty.
50-50. Shout out 50-50, man.
He said it's hard out here. What did he say back in like 09? He said, "What's up on that book? And it's hard out here."
Recession, yeah.
Hey, hop the podcast, man. Hop
Yo,
on. We'll set you up
50-50,
with your own.
yo.
Hey, one of
Get
the
your
goats.
own pod.
One of the Houston goats.
Yo, for real. Come through, man. We lost Lou Hawk. We need you, bro.
Yeah.
We need you out here.
New Swisher House. So the whole how you may know this person thing, right? So my friend from college used to, you know, kind of have like a fling, some girl that, you know, you'd hook up with, whatever.
Like,
And they were cool.
this is a safe space, bro.
Yeah, they were friendly with each other. I'm not worried about incriminating myself. I'm like, I don't want to put everybody else's business out there.
Yeah.
So she was like kind of like freaky, right?
Right.
And
As all people are.
long story short, you know, I heard all the stories. Not even necessarily like he would kiss and tell,
Right.
but like, you know, just comes up like, yeah, this happened, like casually, like what? I randomly work with her now husband. So I know all the story. It's just like funny, and like I don't think he even knows. How do you bring that up? Like, hey, dude, I know your wife. Like,
Yeah.
Oh, you
what?
can't casually
know?
just say that. Yeah,
And it's not my stories to tell,
right.
so I just kind of like, that's kind of awkward. But you know, it's fun. That means I'm gonna see her at the Christmas party.
Yo, that kind of brings me back into like my past weekend. Remember I was telling y'all niggas about that shit? Yo, you don't remember, nigga?
I'll fuck with you.
Oh, okay. Well, that kind of brings me back into, all right, so a person that's very close to me's best friend, and what the fuck, nigga? A person that's very, my sister's best friend or whatever, and her husband came into town for the weekend, and me and my sister's best friend have like fucked and shit back in the day, like fucking 15 years ago. Like, literally when I was like 15, like,
You
type
do have
shit.
something to tell. This is a good story.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I actually, like, so she had hit me, and she was like, hey, Chef, we coming into town. She had just got married, like, last year. She's like, hey, me and my husband, we're coming into town or whatever. Like, you know, like, he knows people down here, but, like, you know, like, you hang out with him or whatever, you know, like, and I'm like, all right, cool. But then, like, I got to thinking, I'm like, oh, shit, like, yo, me and this nigga, like, Eskimo brothers, like, what the fuck am I gonna talk to this nigga about? Like, I don't really know him like that. I know his wife, and, like, not only because, like, you know, like, we had, like, a fling or whatever, you know what I'm saying, when I was in fucking high school and she was in college type shit,
crazy.
but it's because, like, you know, like, because she was, you know, like, my sister's best friend type shit.
Yeah, she's
so
always
it's like,
around. She always around. I get it.
what if, you know, like, what if it comes up to, like, you know, like, oh, shit, nigga, I was, you know, motorboated that, you know what I'm saying? That shit wasn't, you know, like, but it was all good. Everything was all, you know, gravy or whatever. Like, that shit didn't come up. But I'm thinking, like, yo, like, what the fuck am I supposed to say to this dude, you know?
Yeah.
But,
Like, how do you relate?
like, how do I relate? Because the thing that we can most relate on, we shouldn't, right? And that kind of drives us back to the monogamy thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, should I let him, you know? But, like, obviously, like, not. You know what I'm saying? Because people have
It's
feelings.
ancient-
you know,
ancient
history is ancient history. You know what I'm saying? Like, I used to deal with this shit with an ex-girlfriend of mine. Like, I actually knew... I know for a fact I knew one of her ex-boyfriends, like, we was, like, mad cool, like her real ex-boyfriend, you know what I'm saying? Like, fucking, I don't know if anybody listens to this. I'm not going to say names. But me and him was, like, mad cool. But I know that they used to, like, you know, like, date in high school and, like, fucking all kind of shit, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like, I know you fucked my bitch before, you know, like, but...
Your girl.
But, like, my girl, I'm sorry, my feezy.
You had
But,
a rough
like...
breakup. It's okay.
But still, like... But still, like, you know, like, it was cool. Like, I didn't mind it because it was in the past. It's
I
ancient
guess
history.
you know it depends. It depends on the ex. Like,
right. If they make it weird, it's weird.
like for okay, let's look at okay. I'm me.
Give
right?
me a situation for you.
Yeah. So looking at my exes, there are plenty that like if I was to see them, I'd be like, oh hi, and be cordial. There's some that I'd kind of be like, ah, shit. Like, I'd be cordial, but I'd just kind of be like, man, this is going to be like pulling teeth. Now, when you look at, you know, I think a lot of it has to also do with, like, security, like how you feel about yourself.
Hey, you know what's funny, bro?
Because I feel like early in a relationship, I can look back on my own, you know, my own vulnerabilities. Where, like, I'm like, I'm not a jealous person, but I can look back and be like,
You can kind of be jealous,
I was being a jealous bitch then, you know? And I think a lot of it, you know, you can kind of look at your own security in the relationship. Like, if you're in a newer relationship, you might feel a little bit more threatened.
Right.
If you're established, you don't care. But there are some people that, like, your girl used to date, they're like, that dude's just weird. I'm sorry, I don't get down with that dude. Like, I don't have any beef with him. I don't have any flex with him. But, like, if they come through,
what the fuck you see in him?
I'll just be like, whatever, dude. Like, you know, like...
Fuck out of here, nigga.
Fuck out of here.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's kind of my take on it. But I think a lot of it has to do with, like, that security. I think those guys that see a girl, like if they're girls see an ex and they get all defensive and stuff,
Can I tell you
just
my
don't feel
take on
secure.
it?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yes,
Get in
please.
there, Jock.
Jock Bop's take on it. So this is how I feel, man. You know, we don't own anybody, first and foremost. We all have jealous tendencies in us, especially if you're a Gemini. Shout out to Geminis. I'm one too, Mike.
I'm a Cancer. I was supposed to be a Gemini.
Yeah.
We're all kind of in that same...
Me and Mike
Yeah.
was supposed to be born on the same day.
Yeah.
But I came out 2 weeks late.
Right. So
CPT.
so
CPT, yeah.
So my thing is,
No, niggas always late.
my thing is, you get upset because me and Antonio was talking about this today. Actually, shout out to my nigga Antonio.
I hope he's listening.
I really
You
don't
listen.
know what you came for. Round and round we go.
Nah,
You the man.
Antonio's a real nigga, man. He's a real nigga.
The ivory.
So Ivory. So yeah, so it doesn't make sense at times because you feel like, hey, I'm more attractive to this person. I'm swaggier. I smell better. You know, I know I'm fucking you better. Like, you know what I'm saying? And like, but at the end of the day, like, she was with that person. With women, man, they don't give a fuck what you look like. Seriously. They do not care. You know what I'm saying? As far as the
They don't
material
give
shit,
a fuck.
they don't care. They just want to like.
She don't ever sweat.
Women are very emotional, right? So they just care about like, okay, like how you treating me?
Bro, they're trying to get their nut off, bro.
Spend time. It's a big thing for women. Spending time, quality time. That's why you see these fat little chunky ass niggas with these. You know, I'm being honest with you, like, with these
real talk.
These attractive women because they don't care. They just feel like, you know, this guy is stable. You know what I mean?
Got money.
He's stable, but also he listens to me and he doesn't try like over talk to me or talk at me. We're having an actual conversation.
Listening is like.
No, listening is huge, bro.
It's huge, bro. That's the number one thing.
Man.
Listening and quality time. So basically what I'm saying is, like, the older we get, you know what I'm saying? We're all in our 30s now, shit like that. Like, beauty is only skin deep. Like, it really is, man. Like, you really got to
Well, you gotta find a companion. You gotta find somebody that you can.
Right.
It sounds shitty, but sometimes you gotta find somebody you can tolerate.
And that's why
because you can find somebody that you're like, she's perfect, and you're like, man, I can't stand her though.
Right.
Like, she cool in doses.
Right.
You can't.
That's
marry
why,
somebody
honestly, like
that.
I'm gonna say this right now. I'm probably get a little mushy, but whatever. So, Sharon. That's why I appreciate her because she's the first like girlfriend that I've like had who, of course, she finds me attractive, you know, obviously. But like as far as like my style, y'all know I'm big on style and fashion and all that shit.
Always.
She can care two shits about that. She does not like the way I dress, like at all. She
Shut your Prince Akeem looking at.
That's something we're going to get into in a minute. Hold on. I'm going to let you finish your point. That's something we're going to get into.
So I never experienced that. So I'm like, what the fuck? Everybody else is giving me compliments. She never does at all. So it bugged me.
Challenging you.
Yeah, so I'm like, what the hell? You know, like, you not know, like.
You don't notice me?
No, I really try. Like,
you don't know who I am?
Y'all know me. Y'all niggas know me for like.
Tujak Babo.
Y'all been knowing me for a decade. So y'all know, like. You stupid nigga. Shout out to, you know what I'm saying?
That was a cool whip.
Bravo, nigga.
This reminds me.
I got that shit stuck in the mud.
You know, nigga said, he was like, nah, you alright. I was like, alright.
Nah, you good.
Okay,
this reminds me of the Volvo, kinda.
It does. So yeah, so like, I'm gonna wrap it up now. So.
You don't have to wrap it up.
The dope, nice, son. Yeah, the dope thing about Sharon, which I really appreciate, she always pushes me to like, care about shit that really matters, like climate change. Like, no, listen, no, you laughing. That shit's
no, I love it. Because I was in the same boat, bro.
Right, like, shit I never even thought about, climate change.
After
recycling.
a conversation, I can see you looking at your phone like, man, this is some bullshit. Tweeting like, y'all, we gotta be better.
So, like, climate change and shit that really matters. I'm like, you know, she's actually challenging my mind in different ways.
Yeah.
I never give her credit for it because, like, I'm a very prideful ass person, honestly. But Sharon, I appreciate you. Like, I really do. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
straight up, I felt that way about Chloe, like because she broke me out of like my like I was so into myself,
right?
And like that's what I was about to ask. Like I was gonna like think, what if you thought that you found the one, but like it didn't pan out, even after a while,
well,
after a long
thing,
time.
I feel like you still learn from it, right?
Timing and circumstance play such a big part, and that's awful because
you don't know the
it's
future.
Always out of your hands.
Right.
I mean, I can think of like.
Is it always out of the man's hands?
It's out of everybody's hands.
Everyone's?
Yeah, both.
I mean, like I can think back on flings that I'm like, okay, that could have actually been something meaningful, but the timing, circumstances, for whatever reason, it just didn't happen.
Right.
And you look back, and it's like, you know, you have no ill will that it didn't work out because you're like, okay, I get it. Mm-hmm. And I mean, you wonder, like, I mean, I'm not saying I wonder what if. I'm very happy. But, you know, you do have that curiosity, like, okay, what could have been, like, you know, I know that was one of the ones you just kind of forget about, but, you know, sometimes timing and circumstance just play a big part, and you you can't do anything about it sometimes.
I know. So one time, we can, like, move on from this relationship shit in a minute, but just on that point that you were just saying, like, I remember when I was, like, 16, 17, I told, this girl that I used to date in high school, and Destiny, like, who was like mad in love with me. Like, I didn't even like her. Yeah, I didn't even like her like that, bro. Like, and shout out Destiny if you ever hear this type shit. Like, I did like she was cool as fuck. Like, that was my nigga. You know what I'm saying?
It's a different kind of.
But like, I didn't like at the time. Like, I didn't appreciate like how much she liked me. You know what I'm saying? Like, type shit. Like, but I remember like me and her literally making a mutual promise that like, yo, by 25, if like I ain't with nobody, if you ain't with nobody, or like, you know, you in some shit that like, you know, like it's not going right, we'll try again, you know, type shit.
First,
but like at that time, like literally when we turned 25, we were both like in relationships type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like like in deep relationships,
Well,
like type
and
shit.
there are like different ways, like different kinds of bonds. Like there are the ones that are kind of like business relationships. Like there are plenty that I'm sure like second marriages. Like if you get married like older, it's not that it's a business relationship, but you're like, all right, you're not a liability. Like,
Right.
I'm not bringing in a bunch of bad debt.
Yeah,
You know, you're driven, I'm driven. We're gonna motivate each other. You know, there's also like the puppy love type. You know, but I think regardless, no matter what kind of relationship it is, this is tips out here. This is gonna be like a little soliloquy though of knowledge, right? So when you get married, the key is you gotta still, you know, it's funny because I think back on my own experiences. I think back on like newlyweds or people that are newly engaged, and they're like, oh yeah, you know, my girlfriend, like, oh, I mean my fiance, or like, oh, you know, my girlfriend.
Labels.
Oh, I mean my wife. But, you know, I always tell them, though, I go, no, that's still your girlfriend.
Right.
And they're like, what do you mean?
For
like,
life.
No, that's your girlfriend. Because there's a big difference in emotions from being in love and being in like.
Right.
When
Or
you
being
have...
infatuated, or being infatuated.
Most definitely.
When you have your wife or, like, you know, a long relationship, fiance, whatever, you're in love. It's different. It's familial almost. Not like you feel like they're, like, related to you, but it's like, you know, you feel like we're building a family. We have a home. You know what I mean? Like, we are, you know, we're one in a sense, right? But I think the important part is having that in like, because the in like is all like the
in like is the best.
The fluffy stuff. You get the butterflies. You know, you see their name pop up on the text, and you get excited a little bit. You get that dopamine hit.
You know, they gotta go to the corner and shit.
Yeah. Oh shit, this my girl.
Oh
Hold
shit,
up,
I gotta
y'all.
put that shit down.
I gotta take this call real quick.
Pause that shit.
Yo, you used to do that shit a lot back. Yo, Mike was like the first person I knew that like everybody had to shut the fuck up with this nigga girlfriend, not his current wife.
This nigga
But
Mike
this
is
nigga-
hilarious.
yo.
Remember we went to Galveston? Remember Galveston?
Oh my god! Everybody
We were
had to
talking
shut
about
the
this like a
fuck
week
up,
ago,
bro.
All right, baby. I'm
Everyone
fucking
had to
Galveston
shut
right now.
the fuck up, whatever this bitch
All right.
is called, bro.
All right, babe. I'm in Galveston right now. You're driving with Chance and Jock in the car. We
Like
smoking.
this nigga had to tell his whole itinerary. Like nigga, just hang up the goddamn phone, bro.
This nigga Mike is
So I was a little shit. So basically, but like I was good about being honest, but like she just didn't believe me. So like, you know.
Yeah,
But
facts,
that's like
facts.
a lot of women, bro. Because I felt like nigga.
But that was an example of a bad
too
relationship.
honest.
Right, yeah, that was
Because-
toxic. That was a real toxic
I
relationship.
mean, like
Bro,
that
It
was-
wasn't toxic like y'all wasn't beating each other asses type shit.
I'm not gonna speak
It was
about-
toxic with like y'all didn't fucking like y'all didn't match.
Right, it didn't
we
match.
weren't.
Y'all were not
You were
compatible at all.
settling. You were settling.
Oh
You were
yeah.
settling.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
big
feel like
time. Big
I'm
time.
not gonna speak of that person's name. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause we're not gonna do that right now. But I feel like that person.
We never do that.
Yeah, that
We don't kiss
person.
and tell.
Yeah, don't give it energy.
Joy Taylor.
Right. So I'll be quick with it. That person wasn't a very nice person, bro.
She was a bitch. I hated that.
Yeah, she can be different now.
No, that's
Yeah, she can be different now. You know, she has kids, a family. I'm gonna get all that. But at the time,
She was very
bro,
beautiful.
For you, Mike, for you, I was only nice to her because of you. I'm
I
like,
know.
it's my
I
best
respect
friend. It's
that.
my
Y'all,
nigga.
y'all had a lot of patience.
Even
So-
fucking Chloe hated her. She was like, ugh, I had pals with her. Ugh,
remember
this is
that.
fucking stupid.
Well, but here's the thing.
she
Look,
snitched on us. I think she like snitched on them for like smoking weed or some shit like that. I don't know.
so to you know, to say in the phrase, I don't want to dance on anybody's grave. You know, she's not literally dead, but you know, using the phrase. More power to her. You know, she found what worked for her, and that's great. You know, I'm happy for her. It didn't work out. You know, like I just identified.
Work for the better.
I was like, you
learn.
know, like this isn't good for either one of us, and like it
This
took
definitely
me.
wasn't good for you, bro.
It wasn't, and like she might have thought at the time, like, damn, like, you know, I think you're wrong, Mike. Like this is, you know, right, whatever. And it's gonna sound like I'm like thinking about
Right.
the past shit, but I did both of us a favor by doing that because I wasn't right for her either.
You did me
know?
a favor by doing that
I
too.
did everybody a
I think
favor.
yeah.
It just, you know, like, and it goes back to the original thing. You got to know what you're looking for, and that's the problem. I think a lot of us as adults, we have an idea of what we think we want, or, you know, it's like, oh well, this is easy, or like you said, Jock, settling. It's like, okay, this is the path of least resistance.
Right.
Whatever. It's not broke. I won't try to fix
Don't
it.
try to figure it.
But, you know, I used to have that mentality on a lot of things. Just like, oh, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But I started to challenge myself because it's like, okay, you're basically saying I'm settling. I'm not going to challenge myself to find something better.
Or
And
to find something better within yourself.
Right, and that, because it's not to say that there's a better
person or anything out there for you.
It's not like, oh, my wife is
It's
better
just like,
than
where
she
do you want to be
was.
happy?
She's better for me,
Right.
and look, my X
Exactly.
is better for who she's with now, and that's fine. I'm happy for her, and I'm happy as hell for myself.
Me too.
You know,
shit.
But
thank God.
and that's the thing, though. I think like a lot of people just like get caught up and oh, well, this is easy, and I'm just gonna settle for this. I'm not gonna really like push myself to look and like challenge myself. This is the other thing I tell my little brothers. You really like when they're at a certain age, you don't answer to anybody. You answer to yourself.
Right.
But you have to actually answer to yourself.
Yeah.
You have to be honest with yourself.
And you have to be honest with that significant other as well.
People will ask you tough questions. You don't want to answer them? You don't have to. Just say that's not your
answer
business.
them as honest as possible. Yeah, either say it's not your business or answer them as honest as possible.
But here's the thing, though. You should, though, at those times, ask yourself that question and answer it honestly.
But my thing
Honestly.
is
To
like
yourself.
Not like,
Not like a, yeah.
Because if I had done that to my, had I challenged myself earlier, I could have saved a lot of time that she wasted with me. I wasted with her.
But was it really wasted time? Because like my thing is like you learn from it. So I feel like no time is really wasted.
Nah,
And you're right about that.
You're right about that as
but,
well.
And I think the ultimate point that I'm getting to with all of this is self-awareness. I think is the most important quality that anybody can have. Like you don't have to acknowledge that. You don't have to like put a label on yourself. Like I am this, I am that. But you got to know with yourself what you're good at, what
With
you're not good at.
yourself. Don't let people
so you can say,
fucking-
I need to work on my weaknesses. I need to work on my strengths too. Make those even stronger.
Right.
But you got to know what they are. You got to know the distinction, and it's not easy. You have
It
to
ain't.
really
Not at all.
consciously think about it. You have to set time aside to actually be with yourself. And if
Right.
you never
Dude.
have that time, if you're going through your adolescence. Or you're going through like your early 20s, and you see it a lot with like early 20s. People get caught in a relationship. They never spend time just evaluating themselves.
Yo, trust out. That brings me to a point that how I was in my relationship, well, my past relationship or whatever with Chloe or whatnot. Like we were together for 10 years, like a little bit even longer than that or whatever, for like over 10 years. Like, but we started dating when I was 18. She was like 19. When I was 18.
High school, that's right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, when we met, the end of like very ass end of high school. You know what I'm saying? Like, but like from the time when she moved next door to me or whatever. Like, nigga, but like not on purpose. Like that was total accident type shit. You know what I'm saying? That was like some guy shit. Like seriously. And us spending all that time together, when we finally like were get into our 30s, it was like, damn, like we've been together, literally a third of our lives.
Yeah, that's the
Like,
crazy part.
Dude, like, is this what, you know what I'm saying? Like, cause
that's
that whole fucking nigga, those 20s are so like
Well, you gotta
detrimental.
look. You gotta look.
Like here, I think that's a beautiful part of it too, is because you can be with somebody for so long, and then realize like, you know what, I love you and I care about you, but I don't think we're right for each other. And that's fine.
And it's not even
like,
I thought that.
Right, but
it's not even I thought
fine
that. But it's like,
thing,
maybe there's like, not even like, maybe there's something else, but like, we never even gave ourselves the chance to like see if there was something else. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, we were like,
that's all you knew.
Niggas straight up, like, that was all we fucking knew was each other.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Well, and then
so
you
like,
can get to a point like somebody like myself who overanalyzes everything.
Right.
You start to think, is this who I really am, or is this who I have become?
Because of this person.
Right.
Exactly. And I think that like us breaking up, like it literally, I think that it was more it was for both of us because we were probably both feeling the exact same. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like towards the end, I mean, like we were literally reaching milestones. You know what I'm saying? We were reaching our fucking 30s. You know, and it was like damn, we spent our entire 20s with each other. You know what I'm saying? Like from before then, like.
Well, that's what old people. Well, when I say old people, we're old people now.
Yeah.
But when we were like
young,
20, and like people be like, well, be your own person. That's what they're talking about. Like,
Right.
Know who you are. Identify who that person
and that
is.
was the thing. I don't think either of us knew who the fuck we were.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we're going through now. It's been a year
Because everything
since
was
like
so
we've been apart. You know what I'm saying?
y'all instead of you and her. It was
Exactly.
y'all, you know, and like
All the time.
and I mean again, that comes back to circumstance.
Right.
You know, it might not have been anything.
And I was glad that it happened.
It might not
Thank
have been
God.
anything that y'all did consciously where y'all became just like us instead of like myself and her.
Right.
Like a lot of time that just happens because you get caught in this routine of like, oh, well, of course we're going to do everything together. You're my girlfriend or
Right.
fiance or my wife or whatever you know, that person is.
You wanna
of
spend
course.
time.
You know, but the problem is you can set an expectation. Like, let's say you get in that early phase. It comes down to consistency. It's all about consistency.
Yeah.
In the beginning of the relationship, if you set the precedent that, like, hey, we do everything together, it's your fault if the significant other kind of becomes clingy. That's the problem I had in the past. In the beginning...
That's the kind of problem that
hey,
I had.
I was you were 18, I was 18, you know... With our girlfriends,
Yeah,
not like
yeah.
with each other. I was 18 when I started dating the ex. You were 18 when you were dating your ex.
Right.
And like, you know, you're like, you get that puppy love, and you're in like a very weird, you know, transitional state in your life because you're graduating.
Already,
you know,
yeah.
You're out of high school, going on to like either the real world, college,
Both.
or both. You know, it's just kind of like, what the hell's going on? So you find like somebody that's like kind of your partner, like on that journey.
Literally like a life partner.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
you're like, oh, like, okay, finally I found somebody. Why are you, first of all, you're 18. You
Right,
don't realize
exactly.
that you've
You
got,
don't.
like,
Especially like when you look up and you're
Decades.
20-5.
yeah,
You know what
got
I'm saying? That
decades
shit-
in front of you.
Time fucking flies,
Why are
bro.
you in a rush to find the answer at 18?
Right.
No. You have to learn.
It's not even like you were like trying to find that answer.
have to learn-
It's just like you kind of just like fell into it.
Well, and you have to learn through experience,
Right.
you know? So, I mean, again, back to Jock's point, like, you don't regret what happens. I don't have any regrets.
I don't have no regrets at
Growth
all.
is a person.
But, you know, you have to set a precedent, like, okay, how am I going to be 2 years from now?
Right.
I mean, you can't anticipate
Right.
that 100% accurately. But you can at least say, like, am I the type that likes being on the phone? I hate being on the phone.
I do too.
Why am I going to cake and set that precedent where we're on the phone for an hour caking, you know, and then, like, 3 months down the line, I'm like, I know everything there is to know about you. You know, I see you all day. Why are we on the phone for hours caking? You know, but hey, that's my own damn fault because I set that precedent.
Right.
You know?
Nah, you
But,
most
you know,
definitely right, man.
That's why it's so important. And it's hard. It's hard because even at 30 years old, I feel like we probably still don't know shit about ourselves. I mean, we
don't.
know so much,
We
but we
don't at
still
all.
Bro, I
lack
said on
a
the
lot.
I'm just now learning, bro.
I still know what the fuck I'm doing with a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm being with you, but like I'm
Nah, I
pushing
feel
through.
you. I feel
I'm just
you,
being honest
man.
with you right now. I'm pushing through. You know what I'm saying? Because life, like you said, you think
Me
you have it
too.
figured out, but you don't.
But
And
because
that's
like,
fine, you know?
and as getting older, bro, like, I mean, shit, life is, I mean, it's just getting harder and harder. You know what I'm saying? Like,
But you're getting wiser and wiser too.
yeah, exactly, bro.
Yeah,
Like, and
bro.
I'm starting to realize every day, bro.
Yeah.
Like, literally, like, I always had that type of like mentality, like, yo, live live it up, nigga. Like, live every day like it's your last type shit.
Yeah.
But like now, like this year,
Yeah.
this fucking year, like it's really starting to hit me. Like, yo, nigga, just do whatever, nigga. Like any opportunity, like you could take to like do whatever the fuck it is, do that shit.
Well, and I mean, it's full
agree,
circle.
Sam.
and
It
this
is.
It's full circle, and this is meta, but it's kind of like doing the podcast. I'm one of those paralysis by
You started
analysis.
doing this shit fucking like 8-9 years ago type
Well,
shit.
and the thing is,
And,
like,
now it's really starting to, you know, like
I'll always do a podcast, and then like I said, the 8:15 rule, whatever it is now, whatever they want to call it, whatever the actual term is, but it's somewhere like between 8 and 15 podcasts most people do, and we're in
And
that
they'll
range
stop.
right now. But we're not stopping.
this is episode 7 or 8 right now, right?
9.
9?
Yeah.
Oh shit! Hey,
We're in the middle of it. We're in the middle of it.
Yeah, you motherfuckers better start fucking adding us.
But, you know, I'm one of those types, like, I do that paralysis by, like, over-analysis, right? Like, where it's like, I've got so much shit on my mind that nothing gets done because I evaluate, and I over-evaluate, and I over-evaluate.
Overthink,
When it came to this podcast, it was like, okay, well, here's all these ideas that I have, and, you know, how are we going to make this successful, and da-da-da-da. at the end of the day, I realize the enjoyment I get is just doing the podcast.
Exactly.
You know, like it's...
Bro, I have so much fucking fun doing these shits. Remember back in the day when we were doing
Yeah,
this?
that was so much
People
fun.
were sad. They were like,
know.
man, why'd y'all stop? I feel like I had a good dynamic and like it was
Yeah.
cool. You know, and I was like, I don't know why we stopped like life.
Well,
Hey,
at the
bro.
time, what were we, like 26? I mean, not
Yeah.
that much younger, but still, like, substantially younger.
Uh-huh.
And you're like, all right, well, myself at least, I'm like, oh, well, we got to make it successful, profitable. What can we do to do all that
Think about
stuff?
money, right.
Whereas now it's like, you know, I feel like as I've gotten older, I've valued art. Like, I valued, like, okay, it's a human need to express yourself through art. My way of doing that, at least what I've found for myself, what's working right now, is through podcast. So expressing myself through art, through podcast, that's kind of what I found, like, okay, that's just going to make me happy. So I'm doing it just for my, like, to enjoy doing it. And that over-analysis part by that paralysis by over-analysis, I just shut that voice out. Right. And that's why we started doing this, because we're like, you know what, we're just gonna do it.
Well, if you think about it, dude, we've been doing this shit, me and you, like, for the longest, since we were like 9-10 years old. Like, literally, all we would do was talk on the fucking house phone for 2-3 hours with other fucking people, just bullshitting.
We were podcasting before it was
just
a
like
thing.
bullshitting, bro. Like, we would get on the phone with fucking, like, with each other and then call random ass people and, like, just start talking. And just go on and on and on to like 4-5 in the morning, like damn near. It's like shit. We gotta be up in like 2 hours, bro, like to go to fucking school, you know. And like
those stories will come to light, and that's why we're doing this. You know, it's just a matter of us putting our stories, our experiences.
I mean, it's about time.
Talking,
you know?
Recording it. You
like,
know,
to actually like like making it worth something.
And that's why it's so important. You know, we're not doing this for validation. We want people to listen and join the conversation. You know, we want on social media people to respond and reply, and that's, again, I'm not, oh, look, check this out, I'm not gonna like, oh, look at all these stats. Yeah, I don't care about that. I care about building a community.
I just like the engagement.
I like the engagement.
People.
I like conversation. I
Bro,
like sharing stories. Like, I like to learn from
friends.
other experiences.
I like new friends, bro. Like, not even new
Yeah.
friends, but I just like having friends, period. You know what I'm saying?
We're all friendly people.
Cause like that's what this. I think that's what this world is about, bro. I think that this shit is literally just a test for the next level. Like how we were saying earlier in the pod, man. Like I've lost plenty of people just this year. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, be friendly with, like, you know what I'm saying, with everyone. Like, don't let no
Spread
fucking
love.
spread love. It's the Brooklyn way. Yeah, you know, like. Just be out here, like, don't let no nigga, like, you know, like, get you out of your element, man. Try to have as much fun as you can. And that's, like, what we're all here for. Because, like, we're all going to the same place. Whether it's fucking, you know, 6 feet below.
It's funny you say that, because I've started to think this, you know, the whole self-awareness thing and understanding myself. The last, like, 2 years, I've started to think, the person I want to learn the most about is myself. Because at the end of the day, that's all you got. When you get buried 6 feet under, you go down 100% by yourself.
Dude, so going back to the simulation theory of that I've always, like, you know, kind of had. Do y'all think that this earth is kind of like a test? And, like, when we die, it's like, whoa, we're with all the people that, like...
Do you want to make the next episode like the woke episode? Because we
could
could talk about this for like
very well.
7 hours.
Yo, we could.
I honestly could.
We're not even, like, there yet. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like this is... Look, people are going to be like, oh, we had you until the 2 hour mark. I honestly feel like before we pass, like, granted, knock on wood, you know, we live full, you know, life expectancy. I feel like we'll understand, or at least somehow have achieved interstellar or interdimensional travel.
I think
that's like, oh, Mike's off the loony bin.
No.
I just feel like there's so many advancements.
So because how you were
look at the
telling me,
exponential development of just technology and where we were
how you were telling
10
me
years ago versus 70. I mean,
last week when we weren't even recording, you were telling me, you were like, dude, like, your little brother was like out of this world type shit.
Yeah.
Like he was in his own fucking shit. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit really put it in perspective for me, and especially like with fucking, you know what I'm saying, like Youngboy with the Meese, like, you know what I'm saying, like passing this past week or whatever. They were on so
It's like an
like
evolution
it was
almost.
like, yeah, it was like they were so into like not into themselves, but like it was like they were like so unplugged from like, you know, whatever the fuck's going
So
around.
they take the red pill.
It's
or
like
whatever.
they like whenever they did that shit, it was
Yeah,
just like,
so-
yo, we like I could just move on. Like how you were saying, like he was always like you know,
omnipresent
around,
almost.
like omnipresent. Yeah. Dude, like I believe in that shit, like seriously.
I do
now.
too, and that's
that
why
shit hit me like a motherfucker. the
it's
other day.
tragedy, but it's kind of like
It is. It's sad for us, but it's like, yo, they moved on, man. They're like on that next level. And yo,
And then shit on a deep note, tears welling up and shit.
yo, I mean, that shit's just real, bro. Like, I mean, I don't know. Like I always say, man, just like I love like living life, and that's what we're about to go do now, man.
That's why even like challenges.
Let's go hit some fucking Tame Impala, nigga. We're about to go to the fucking bar or some shit.
Jock,
Hey, I'm with
you
it.
got any plugs? Anything you want to shout out?
Yeah, so shout out, you know, Pure Style Clothing. You know, and
We're
thank
gonna
y'all.
get into this shit.
We are,
Look,
we are, even-
we're
Like,
just
We're
in the
about to come
beginning.
here and take pictures.
We're
Oh,
just in
for
the
sure.
beginning right now,
Uh-huh.
but like if you want to give like a quick like you know
Yeah, quick.
to be
overview.
you know
Yeah,
marketing
so
spiel.
Yeah, I have like some dope ass Black Power like shit. You know, like I'm
Is
for,
it though? Like,
I'm for everything though. No, everything. I'm everything. But like this is like very. So let me rephrase that.
I'm not gonna lie, Jack. You the blackest nigga I know, bro. I swear to God. Like, and that's not even like, cause you like, if you look at this nigga, you think blackest nigga, you know, you be like, oh, that nigga like a nigga. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, no, like you like are literally like
Proud
like,
and like
proud, powerful. You know what I'm saying? Like you are
The
like
right values,
the motherland,
like, you know, like-
right.
like
I appreciate
yeah,
that, bro.
like
Like,
for
a
real,
positive, like, you know-
the most.
So
Not
if
the
there's, like-
negative shit
yeah,
of black
like,
people.
if there's
I
negative
appreciate that.
stereotypes, you're like the opposite. Like
You're the
Yeah, I appreciate that.
complete
Yeah,
opposite
thanks,
of that
guys.
shit.
Thanks.
So yes, I think it is like
I
kind
can't
of
comment
black.
on it. You know,
I think
I'll
it is
step
like
out
kind of
this.
like black
So
power
this
shit.
is what I'm saying. It's gonna be pro black. So pro black, you can be another race and be pro
that's
anything.
fine.
So that's what it is. And it's, you know, it's celebrating like our black queens, like some of our like, you know, like Janet Jackson, Phyllis Hyman,
India.Arie.
Anita Baker, exactly. So I have some shit coming out with that.
It's proud.
Yeah, I wanna
It's
say
not,
Joy
like,
Taylor.
Anti, it's just
Yeah,
proud.
exactly,
Your own.
proud. Yeah, and I'm proud of like a lot of shit.
You have
But-
to be, man. You have to
so-
be proud
I'm
of your
proud of my
heritage.
Right,
people, man.
right, exactly. So
All right, we'll
so,
let you. Yeah.
Yeah, so once again, just thank you guys for being patient with me. I do got some fire coming out. You know, it gets very frustrating because I can't really push it out like I really want, but it's all a work in progress, and I'm not stopping. I'm keep going. Every time I wear my shit or I show designs, people love that shit. I think it's dope.
No
Like,
cap.
dope. When is it
No
coming
cap.
out? You know? So, like, just thank you guys. Just keep being patient up, like, for me, and I will remember, like, everybody that's sticking with me with everything, you know?
Yeah, Jack, man, I really appreciate you like coming on this episode with us, bro.
Yeah.
like we've been.
Jock's part of the family.
like,
Jock's gonna be part of the future
Jack been one of
podcast.
them, like for real.
Mm-hmm.
Like first of all, don't at me. This ain't the only podcast we got. Like
Now.
I mean, it is for now.
For
but like
now.
the repertoire network, yo, we about to take off, man.
Yeah.
Y'all about to check out.
Spoiler alert.
Y'all about to check out the we about to hop on Patreon too, man, to give y'all exclusive content. So like we gonna really get to the shit. So if y'all like fuck with us now in 5-10 episodes, yo, we're really gonna hit y'all with
On
like
the real
some like
promo shit, yeah.
some real promo
So
shit.
we're gonna do some T-shirt giveaways
Okay.
pretty soon.
For our
Don't at
followers.
me, the Don't at Militia. I don't know if we'll do a giveaway for the Joy Taylor fan club, but we'll have it. But you know we're gonna do that.
Hey man,
and then like you mentioned
better
with
step
the
out my bay, dog. It's like we gonna fight like tonight.
well, like
dog.
you said.
Joy,
All right.
hey,
Anyway,
look, I love you.
Yeah.
our
Joy
goal,
Taylor Talks.
100th episode goal, Joy Taylor. Maybe 1000th episode, but hopefully 100.
Okay.
50th.
Yeah. So we got the T-shirts coming out, some cool, giveaways. We're also gonna have, like you said, exclusive content.
Okay.
I think that's gonna be birth of, our reviews. I know we got the Popeyes chicken sandwich
yo, we
versus
got
Frenchie's
Popeyes
chicken
versus
sandwich.
Frenchie's chicken sandwich.
That comes out in December.
coming out soon, man.
That's when that
So-
exclusive content is gonna hit. December.
We'll have videos for y'all niggas.
We're gonna have a lot of good stuff out there. So make
Oh.
sure you keep in touch.
What's her name?
Twitter, Instagram. We got The Twitter is at @podcastatme. We just got followed by @Samoka. Shout out.
So shout out Samoka. Yo, straight up, you took the fucking block off me today. You followed me back. Hey, Samoka, whoever you are, tweet me later on, all right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
and hey guys, I want to add one more thing that I forgot to add. So my actual like page, Instagram. So it's gonna be at Pierre Style Clothing. That's actually gonna be spelled PIERRESTYLE Clothing. So follow me there, and you'll get the link to like my website, everything else.
and we'll put all that shit in the description as well, too, man.
Okay,
and also, it's, you know, you already know what it was. At Mike Silver 27, at that nigga Chance, DATNIGGACHANCE.
Got it this time.
Got it that time. Y'all know what it was, man. At podcast at me. Yo, look for us on YouTube. Look for us on everything. We got to be on everything, man. Cause like this is the wave right here. And y'all gonna catch our Sunday service vlog if we get in. We didn't get the tickets today because they was only for the Lakewood people, and I didn't guess the password in time. But I did guess the password. But tomorrow, if we get them tickets, y'all be the first ones to know on the Twitter, at the podcast at me. You know what I'm saying, Mike? You wanna close it off? Want to send us home?
That's all we got. Hey, tune in. Make sure you rate and review on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Stitcher, wherever you listen to your podcasts. Follow us on Twitter at @podcastatme. Instagram is going to be at therep.network. Again, we got some other podcasts in development. News to come soon.
Patreon.
It's
coming soon. We'll put all the links in the description, man.
Just follow us and you'll
We love
find out.
y'all.
We love y'all. Stay tuned. Peace.